has become the greatest of them all.
Hello once again, everyone, and welcome again to Kings Classics. This is Bob Miller along with former Kings right winger Jim Fox as we look back at memorable games in Kings history. And in this segment, we're going to look at one of the most memorable playoff games. It occurred on April 23rd, 2001 at Staples Center. The Kings against the heavily favored Detroit Red Wings. And on this night, the Kings could wrap up the series. The Kings, remember, lost the first two games of this series in Detroit. Then they came back to Los Angeles, won the next two to even the series. And then, Jim, I think naturally the pivotal game in this series, the Kings winning Game 5 in Detroit.
I think coaches will tell you and players will tell you that certainly winning a game on the road in the regular season is big. You take that to the playoff level, and all of a sudden you have a team that believes. I also go back to the beginning of the series when Andy Murray kind of set the theme where he said, all we want is a Game 6. They felt if they could bring it back to LA for a Game 6, you might have a chance of winning it. Certainly, you can prolong it to a Game 7 in Detroit, worst case scenario. So the Kings do reach a goal. The Detroit Red Wings are battling injuries. Yzerman, Shanahan, McCarty's playing, but he's on a bad ankle. Chelios, we learned before Game 6, has a broken thumb, so they're battling those types of things. For the Kings, it's an all-around team effort. Everyone's doing the job. Jari Karlati, a defenseman, he's coming into his own, although it didn't last that long. Then you have the line of Emerson, Smolinski, and Glenn Murray playing a defensive role. Smolinski doing a great job on Sergei Fedorov all series long. So a lot of different elements going on. The Kings get to Game 6. They have a chance to win it.
Jim, you mentioned the Detroit injuries, and yet they were so deep. They were second in the league overall in points that year with 111. Only Colorado had more. The Kings were 13th in points with 92. So as I mentioned, Detroit was a heavy favorite going into this game. Jari Karlati, you mentioned him. He played 21 minutes and 11 seconds on defense. And Matthew Schneider, who was then with the Kings, played 27 minutes and 54 seconds.
The Kings matchups, their pairings on defense work so well. You had Karlati paired most of the times with Matty Nordstrom. And that's where Jari Karlati was starting to become kind of a puck-moving defenseman. Along with Nordstrom, he stays at home. Karlati, though, also played very physical. So all around, he was really filling out his game. And that was so important for the LA Kings. And a guy I forgot to mention, Felix Potvin. Regular seasons, you know, it's up and down. But once he got to the playoffs, no matter which team he was with, he was always very strong and made the team have kind of a secure feeling. So a lot of those things going well. Another thing that turned around a little bit, and certainly it was a plus and a bonus for the LA Kings, the power play, the advantage always went to the Red Wings. As the series went along, the Kings got more confidence, and it helped them there.
Well, it's Game 6. The Kings can wrap it up with a victory at Staples Center. The crowd, 18,478, tied the largest crowd ever to watch a hockey game in the state of California. They were ready on that night. So were the Kings. So are we. Let's take a look at the first two periods.
Smolinski's line will start for the Kings. He'll take the face-off against Fedorov. He's done a great job on him the last 3 games, and here we go. If the Kings win tonight, they move on to face Colorado. If Detroit wins, there's a Game 7 Wednesday night in Detroit. Kings throw it in back behind the net in the Detroit zone. Puck comes around the left side to Kozlov, and the Red Wings bring it back up to center ice. Fedorov on the left side, his pass off on the right, held in, thrown into Dandino. Here's Fedorov. Fedorov drops it off to Kozlov. Karlati picks him up. He gets a nice pick though. Here's Kozlov at the blue line. Still has it taken away. And chip but not out. Kozlov, right point. Shoots and a save by contact. Rebound on the right side to Larionov. He dropped it, then it's thrown in deep by Dandino. Karlati moved it up the left side, and it is cleared out to center ice. In fact, and a penalty coming up here. Detroit back to touch it. Duchesne.
It's going to be on the wings, Bob. I think that's the call. Actually, he's pointing at one of the Los Angeles Kings and one of the Red Wings. So I think we're going to get a 4-on-4 skating situation. Everyone felt, Bob, that would favor the Red Wings. High stick, I believe, is one call. Now, Gregson went over to both benches and pointed at both guys. There's no doubt there's going to be a Red Wing going off. There's Scotty Bowman, the head coach. It looks like only one door is open. So perhaps that Red Wing was just skating, Bob, in front of the Kings bench. Larionov. There's a guy you don't expect to go to the penalty box at any time during a game. He will pick up a high sticking call early in this game. It's along the boards. The hit comes through. Larionov trying to protect himself, and yeah, no doubt, he rakes across the head of Brian Smolinski. So there were no power plays, Bob, in game number 5 for the Kings. Early here, first minute, Kings with a man advantage.
Well, here we go. The Kings on the power play. Block shot by Lidstrom is knocked down, and the Kings with it back in their own zone. They're 2 out of 18 on the power play, only 11.1%, and a chance to take a lead in the game. Into the zone left side. Driving down the left wing is Stumpel. He's grabbed there. He threw it in front, broken up and cleared. But had a pretty good hold on the arm of Stumpel as he came down the left side. And back in deep is Boucher. Chelios was back defensively, and he was the one checking Stumpel. Kings with a power play early here in the first period. No score in the game. Puck thrown down in deep. Chased in by Aaron Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh put it back behind the net for Palffy, and his pass was too hard for Boucher to handle, and it comes all the way back into the Kings zone.
Kings had the right idea there, Bob. Deadmarsh dumped it in.
Taken away by McCarty as the King goaltender Potvin threw it behind the net.
Deadmarsh ended up dumping in, but Bob, he was the first man on the puck. Very important to gain possession.
Trader, Boucher shoots! Just deflected wide. Rebound left point. Schneider with it there. Schneider on the power play for another 55 seconds. His pass to Boucher. Right point. Boucher hanging out. He's got Palffy with him. He gives it to Palffy in the corner. Palffy checked there. Back to Boucher. Detroit zone. Boucher at the blue line to Schneider. Quickly over to Stumpel. Back over to Palffy. And a save off the stick of Osgood. Up against the left wing board. Held in there by Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh for the Kings on the power play. It's got 35 seconds left. Here is Stumpel walking in. He shoots. He scores! An early goal for the Kings as Stumpel walked in the left side. A power play goal, and the Kings lead 1-0.
Well, Bob, those specialty teams, everyone feels so important. And Igor Larionov taking an undisciplined penalty, and Jozef Stumpel making it count. The best power play so far in the series, Bob. I think it's the Kings' 3rd power play goal. But throughout this whole power play, the Kings had control. And you see the end of it. Watch this. Nothing pretty. Stumpel is waiting for Boucher on the far side. It actually banks off the stick. And number 5, Nicholas Lidstrom. Look at Lidstrom. He's in front. He tries to knock the cross pass away. Well, it goes between the pads. Kings lead 1-0.
Stumpel gets his 3rd in the playoffs. Adam Deadmarsh and Ziggy Palffy with the assist on the power play goal. It comes at 2:19. And the Kings shoots and a glove saved by Osgood. And a whistle on the play.
Well, Bob, I mentioned Stumpel. I think he was waiting for Philippe Boucher to make his way down back door. That's how the Kings had set it up. Here's Boucher up top. The puck will go down low here to Stumpel. Now watch the collapse. Stumpel when he drives. You can stop right here, guys. Stumpel, very important to go that way because it freezes the defenseman in front. Here's Boucher, but the puck never makes its way through. Watch the stick. Number 24 and number 5, and then Stumpel may have had a second whack at it. Another look down low. Tries the pass, loses it, gets it back, and it's a flutter shot. That puck is going about 7 miles an hour, but it doesn't matter. The off-speed fools the goaltender. Kings lead 1-0.
Hands getting on Osgood already. Stumpel points in 4 straight games now. And the Red Wings clear it to the blue line, but not out. Held in by Glenn Murray, but Fedorov back together.
About one thing to keep in mind, that penalty against Larionov was a high stick. Not a lot of hard contact, but you have to know how the game is going to be called early. You have 2 veteran officials. They will let the players play in this game, but you can tell by the call by Gregson, high sticking will not be allowed.
Larry Murphy back in. Here's Fedorov. Fedorov for Detroit. Left side, free zone. Back to the blue line. Held in there by Yuri Fisher, and a penalty to Carlotti coming up. Delay call against the Kings. Held in by Gilchrist. Taken away and cleared out to center, but no whistle yet. Kings chase it down. The Wings are going to have a power play as Smolinski throws it in deep. Carlotti is going to go to the penalty box. He took down Martin Lapointe.
Interference will be the call. So Terry Gregson, I think initially everyone thought it was going to be holding. You'll see Carlotti move his arms back. Down below, bottom part of the screen. And that's a good example, Bob, of interference. Carlotti had his stick between the legs of Lapointe. Lapointe was trying to get free, but he couldn't do so. And you saw the puck come slowly along the boards. Gregson ruled, and Bob, I think he ruled correctly. You've got to allow that offensive player freedom to go get the loose puck. He did not touch the puck. Interference to call. Carlotti goes to the box.
So both teams have done something that they did not want to do early in the game. The Red Wings took a penalty. The Kings scored. The Kings take a penalty. The Red Wings tied for first in the playoffs as the best power play team, 33.3%. Down with Ziggy Palffy. Red Wings hold it in. Larionov to the blue line. Back to Larionov. in the King zone. He throws it down the right side. Kings ahead 1-0. Into the corner goes Kozlov. Put it behind the net. High check by Nordstrom, and the puck is clear.
Now the pressure is on, Bob. The pressure I'm talking about. The Kings extra aggressive on the penalty kill. The Red Wings tried to move the puck around. Kings right there.
Stumpel's pass taken away, but he gets back to get it himself and finds an opening and clears. 4 minutes gone by here in the first period. The Kings with a 1-0 lead on the goal by Stumpel on the power play. Puck fired back behind the net. Stopped by Potvin. His pass around into the corner. Knocked down there. Behind the net to pass Verbeek. Verbeek out to the blue line. Duchesne shoots wide. Rebound off the board. Kings jump on it there, but it is not cleared. Held in and off the glove of Moultrie. Then a shot wide to the left side. Right middle up. Puck comes back on the right side. It was by Verbeek. Verbeek waiting again to try and get it. Picked up by Lidstrom. His pass up the middle to the blue line to Duchesne to Lidstrom. Lidstrom on the power play to Fedorov. He shoots wide and deflected out of play.
Thomas Holmstrom was in front, but Bob, the Kings collapsed down low. Obviously, the Red Wings get that puck movement. They're as good as that as anyone in the league because of the skill. Duchesne and Lidstrom back at the point. There's Holmstrom. I talked about that penalty kill for the Kings. We're going to see an example here earlier on this power play. You'll see the Red Wings move the puck around. When it goes down low, you'll see the aggressive play. You can stop right here. Look at 3 men up top, only 1 man in front. Now watch when the puck goes down low. Aaron Miller will go immediately. Ziggy Palffy has to cover in front. But that does not allow the Red Wings time. And you see Nordstrom get to it, and Palffy will be behind the net. So the Kings, very aggressive. You have to jump almost before the pass is made. You get there on time to break up the play.
Take a look at the King bench. They've won 3 straight in this playoff. They were down 2 games to none. They've taken the lead. Shot from the blue line. Deflected in front. Potvin had no idea where it was for a moment. Red Wings still on the power play. Taken away and cleared out the center ice with 32 seconds left to go on the power play.
And Bob, in the last few games, the Kings have made the decision to front Holmstrom in front. They will not get involved in the double screen. If Holmstrom's there, they just leave him alone. Potvin hopefully takes in.
Fedorov, right side, stepped by Nordstrom. He gets it to Larry Murphy. Murphy put it back behind the net. Kozlov, left side to Holmstrom. His pass tipped, and the Kings clear it again as Glenn Murray clears.
Now that pressure, Aaron Miller using the reach. Not much time or space to move that puck around. The Kings clear it down.
And the Kings are back at full strength when they maintain the 1-0 lead. Pelios, his pass out to center ice. It gets by Nordstrom. He goes down, but Kings have in their own zone. A headman pass up to center ice. Robitaille on the left side. He drops it back. Here's the Perrier. Trying to get down the middle. Puck was loose for the Wings. Clear it back up to center. Nordstrom trying to get back. Chris Draper had it. He dropped it to Maltby. To McCarty. Shoots high and wide to the right. Maltby with it again. Checked in the corner by Galante. Here's McCarty behind the net. McCarty. His pass up the middle to Maltby, broken up, and the Kings clear it out to center ice. Cleared by Belanger.
Belanger was doing his job, Bobby. Forgot about the puck. That's the right thing to do in that situation. Take the man all the way.
And here's Boucher over to throw a check, and Kelly Buchberger in to get it. He clears it back into the neutral zone. 13:51 to go in the first period. 1-0 Kings. Pass up on the right wing to Lapointe. He didn't get it. Nordstrom throws it off on the right side to Carolani. Up the middle, out of the reach of Buchberger, and taken down by Larry Murphy. Back into the zone. Now it's center ice. Williams pass taken away and driven right back in deep. Here's Kelly Buchberger in to get it. Tied up in the left wing corner. Held in there by Stu Grimson. Grimson, Scott Thomas, and Buchberger, the forward line for the Kings now. And the Red Wings in their own zone. Here comes the rookie, Jason Williams. Now up on the right side. Tipped away by Grimson back into the trade zone. Kings want to get a change on the fly. Larry Murphy back in to get it. And it's cleared up to center. Tipped there with the blue line. Here's Larry Onoff across the line. A shot deflected. Shot by Jason Williams. He's checked in the corner. Puck comes into the right wing corner. Dandino trying to get there. Deadmarsh takes it away, but the Kings can't clear. Larry Onoff trying to get around Stumpel. Stumpel checks in. A centering pass hit the side of the net. Picked up by Devereaux. Back on the left side again. And it is Fedorov knocked down, and Palffy clears to center ice.
I'm going to mention his name again. It was Aaron Miller, Bob, as the series has gone along. Miller missed the end of the regular season with a bad wrist. He gets better every game.
Palffy takes it away, throws it in front. Osgood had come out to play it, and Ziggy gets it again. Walks in front, turns, shoots. Save Osgood, and he covers up on a great chance by Palffy, and a big, big save by Osgood. But the Kings have a lead on the power play goal by Jozef Stumpel. There it is, 1-0.
Well, the Kings were trying to make it 2-0. Fedorov will try a reverse play, but no one calls for it. And Ziggy Palffy will pick it up, but watch the goaltender Osgood. He'll move across, he comes out. Good poise by the goaltender to take away the angle from Palffy. Good chance, turnover by the Red Wings, but Osgood makes the big save.
Belanger moves in to take the draw in the Red Wing zone. Kings with a 1-0 lead, and off the draw, loose puck, it is good. Out, held in there by Yaroslav Modric. Now over to Robitaille. Robitaille behind the net. Gets it back again, checked by Yuri Fisher. Puck comes into the corner, left wing boards. Kings try to hold it in again. They did for a moment. LaPerriere looked like he had it, but Holmstrom clears it up to center ice for Detroit. On the right wing side, Philippe Potvin back to get it to LaPerriere, and he slaps it out to center ice. 11:54 to go in the first period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox and Bill McDonald. Kings up 1-0. Here's Yaroslav Modric. Modric left side. Can't go in any further. Taken away by Chelios. Chelios playing with a bad thumb. Clears it out to center to Holmstrom. His pass taken away now by Smolinski. Smolinski spins away from Holmstrom. Went down to the ice to the cheers of the crowd. And the puck thrown in deep. Osgood plays it back around the right side and got away from Aaron Miller. Hopped over his stick. And Felix Potvin out to play it. Backs it around on the left side to Schneider. He reverses it over for Aaron Miller. He didn't get it though. Wing pulled it in. Shot down in front by Schneider. He throws a check. There's McCarty. His pass up the middle. Shot just deflected wide. Larry Murphy got the shot. In front. Standing on a Gilchrist. Backhander. Gilchrist save. Or knocked down in front. I don't know if it got through to the goaltenders. Puck up over to McCarty. In front. And a loose puck taken finally by the Kings. Up to center ice they come, and Nelson Emerson slaps it hard into Detroit zone.
Bob, I think that last shift, what everyone expected from the Red Wings, they're going to go after the puck, they're going to work hard, a little scrambling, but the Kings able to turn his own.
Back into Detroit zone, Stumpel driving, kept there. He gives it to Palffy. Palffy up the middle, lot of room. Carlotti shoots, glove save by Osgood. Great focus and concentration by Osgood on that save, on the shot by that man, Jari Carlotti.
Look at one of the forwards, though, for the Red Wings. He's going to go down to block. That makes Carlotti shoot the puck a little higher, perhaps a little higher than he wanted because it's into the gloves of Osgood. Glenn Murray was in front for a split second, could not provide the screen, but a good job. The one thing you want in that situation, the number one thing on the mind of Carlotti, get the puck through.
In the Red Wing zone, the loose puck taken by Slava Kozlov. Tipped away by Stumpel for a moment. Now Palffy has it at center ice. Lost his balance, but on his knees, flipped it into the Detroit zone. Left one side is Deadmarsh. He barrels in deep in the corner. Taken away by Duchesne. And it comes to the blue line. Offside, Kings. Carlotti tried to hold it in, but couldn't do it. So an offside against the Kings.
Well, you look at the Kings bench. I talked with Andy Murray this morning at the morning skate. The one thing he's been talking about, Bob, is how the Kings have been resilient since game number 3. And Andy says, yeah, he has a list of things he puts on the board. We see that before every game. Most of those things have to do with the X and O's and the game plan. But he said in the last few games, the last word he puts on the board is resilient. You know, during a game, and the Kings have started well here, they have the 1-0 lead, power play goal. They're going to have ups and downs in games. The team that can handle those ups and downs the best usually ends up winning the game.
Stumpel has the goal, his third of the playoffs. It came on the power play. There you see him on the bench. Deadmarsh and Palffy with the assist. And a face-off just outside the Detroit blue line. 10 to go here in the first period. Yuri Fisher starts it out, up the center ice to the wing. Passes to Pat Verbeek, and his pass comes up out of play, up into the crowd with exactly 10 minutes to go here in the first period.
Well, Bob, with all the injuries we've been talking about, Chris Chelios has been playing with a broken thumb. You see the one hand right there has a small glove. The top hand right there with a big white guard, that's where he has his broken thumb. It is the left hand. And Bob, you know, before the game I saw him, before the series started, he had a regular plane cast. It's fiberglass, so if you get it wet, it really doesn't matter. But it, you know, it went up a little bit on his wrist. Before the game I took a look. He has whittled that thing down as small as possible. He's taken the scissors to it. He's carved it, whatever possible, just to get a better grip on the stick.
Pass up to Crimson at center ice. He kicked it across the line. Chris Chelios back to get it. Chelios in his 18th season. He's 38 years old. Right side it goes for the rookie Williams. Hit shot, save, rebound. Williams again, but he overskated. And the Kings started back. Bookberger moves it up ahead to center ice. Here's Scott Thomas, the hero of that stunner at Staples in Game 4. Taken by Union Fisher. He gets hit hard by Grimson. Puck comes up to center ice. And right in front of the King bench, a battle for it as Verbeek throws it in. But Kelly Bookberger clears it up in the air and out to center ice. Red Wings, Chelios with it on the right side. Kings with a 1-0 lead. Puck thrown down in deep by Blake. Knocked away, held in, and then thrown back into right. Potvin knocked it away to Schneider. Schneider almost lost it. Bouncing puck finally cleared out to center ice. Here is Nicholas Lidstrom. Throws it right back in deep. Should be ice, and here Schneider gets to it, and he did.
I think they got a break right there, Bob, the Kings. I think that puck may have hit the stick of Schneider before he went back. You see Draper asking for the call. We'll see if the faceoff goes to center ice.
Face-off in the Red Wing zone. Belanger will move in. Lubomir Visnovsky is scratched again tonight. They were hoping maybe he could come back. He got slashed in the arm by McCarty earlier in the series. He's not able to play tonight. Jamie Storr, Andreas Lilia, Steve Kelly, Visnovsky, Adam Mayer, Rich Brennan, and Brad Chartrand have been scratched for the Kings. For Detroit, they scratched Shanahan, of course. Doug Brown is scratched tonight. Steve Yzerman tried it in the warm-up. Couldn't go with that ankle injury he has. Tom Gill is scratched. And here's Belanger, the hero of the overtime, and a high stick and a penalty. Larry Murphy with a cross-check. Was it Murphy? Let's see who's going to go. Kings are going to go on the power play. We know that. Draper's going to go to the penalty box.
Yeah, the Wings were trying to close that gap from behind, and there's no doubt there was contact. Belanger, Bob, as good as anyone on the Kings, hitting the hole with speed. Now watch the crack. Right there behind the back. No doubt about it. The Belanger goes down, so the Kings get their second chance. The Kings are 1 for 1 so far.
Ziggy Palffy back to the right point. Kings on the power play. Back to Palffy. Back to Boucher at the blue line. He shoots. Tipped and cracked. Palffy didn't get it. Boucher tried to hold it in, but the Red Wings are going to have a chance to clear. To the blue line and taken there by Sergei Fedorov. Fires it deep into the Kings zone. Kings with a 1-0 lead. 8:15 to go in the first period.
But the Kings again simplify on the power play. They want it back at the point, and they're trying to outnumber the Red Wings in front of their own goal. The Kings had 2 men, Deadmarsh and Stumpel.
Pass to Palffy, right wing side. Palffy cutting in, shoots, saved by Osgood. Second good chance for Palffy in the game, and Osgood turned him away.
Palffy had the good read, Bob. Gilchrist was back a forward trying to play defense. Palffy went right around him. That man once again, Chris Osgood, making a big stop.
He kept the game close in Detroit in Game 5 with a brilliant game. Kings won it 3-2, but could have had about a 5-0 lead. Here's Schneider at the left point. Throws it in deep. Back behind the net. Overtime gets knocked down. In the middle of Smolinski. Comes to Schneider. He shoots. And Robitaille. Yes! It went in. Is it going to count or not? Robitaille got dumped into the net, and the puck went in.
Bob, if that whistle did not go, the goal will count. That's what the referees are discussing right now. The only thing that can wave this off is the whistle or a kicking motion of Luc Robitaille. Keep in mind, only the puck can be deflected off a stick. It can't go off a skate or an arm. You can't shove it. Initially, it goes off the post. And now, they will rule. Did you see the left leg of Luc Robitaille coming out? If they rule that Luc Robitaille had a distinct kicking motion, and Bob, it looked to me like that leg was coming forward.
After review, there is no goal.
So they've reviewed it. You'll see the leg of Luc Robitaille whipping in behind. We hope that's the call they made. There it goes off for Robitaille. Now when he goes down, you could argue certainly that the force of the check by Fisher and the momentum, you'll get a great look right here. Keep an eye on the back leg of Luc Robitaille. He gets whacked right here, he gets pushed. Now does his leg whip around right there and push it in? I would say, Bob, Luc Robitaille felt that puck on his skate and he moved it forward. Now, the motion of getting him there, right here, watch this. If that caused the goal, then you would argue, but you have to kind of keep an eye. You can't, yeah. His leg right there comes through and makes contact with the puck. The referees, I assume, ruled it was kicked in. No goal for the Kings.
Kings hold it in. Shot from the blue line. Knocked down in the Red Wings. Fedorov back to center. Getting back is Modry and tips it away. Here now is Smolinski. Robitaille had to hold up at the blue line. Puck comes in deep, held at the point. Robitaille gets checked there. The puck is forced out to center. Here's Fedorov. Makes a nice move on Schneider. Fedorov now picked up, throws it in front, and Schneider over to get it. Modry picked up Fedorov, and Schneider took the puck. Up to center to Smolinski. Smolinski in deep to Robitaille. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Smolinski back to Robitaille to the blue line to Schneider. Schneider's shot blocked. Schneider again. Shoot, save, Osgood. And he hangs on.
Well, Glenn Murray was in front, Bob, so the Kings get what they want again as far as getting that puck through. It didn't go through the first time. Schneider was blocked, and then he just wrist-shotted it through, and that's very important, too, to just get it through. So when you talk about the breaks, Bob, you know, that one, certainly the momentum of Fisher hitting Robitaille, he caused Luke to go into the crease. He can go anyway because the puck was there after it was shot off the post. I think, though, it was the bottom leg of Luke Robitaille that was sweeping through and underneath. John D'Amico is the supervisor that has been appointed to this series throughout the series from the front office in the NHL. He is upstairs, and I'm sure in those instances, he's the senior representative. Perhaps D'Amico made the call.
Actually, it's too bad that Luke's leg hit it. I think the momentum was going to carry the puck over anyway. But it's 1-0 Kings. The goal was waved off.
And Bob, that's part of that word Andy Murray puts on the board, resilient. You have to kind of bounce back from those things. In game number 5, the Kings scored a goal when the Kings were offside on the attack.
Here is Nelson Emerson, right side Carlotti. His pass deflected. The wings are back at full strength. And up to center ice is Kirk Maltby. Maltby double teamed at the blue line, and the Kings have it. Back to center ice to Perrier. Left wing side, Nelson Emerson. Emerson, backhander, saved by Osgood. He hangs on. The Kings with a 1-0 lead. They have outshot Detroit 8-4. Hey, want to be in on this action next year? You can secure great season seats for next season. A $50 per seat deposit gets you priority seating for next season. Priority for the Kings playoffs next year. You won't be disappointed like a lot of fans were tonight, not being able to get in the building. And priority for the 2002 NHL All-Star Game to be held at Staples next February. Customer service representatives are standing by. Call 1-888-KINGS-LA and reserve your seats now. Look at the Felix Potvin.
All right.
He's kicking the wings on those sweatshirts. 6:23 to go in the first period. 1-0 Kings on a power play goal by Stumpel. 2:19 into the game. Nicholas Lidstrom up on the right side to Jason Williams. He throws it down and deep. He came to camp on a tryout. As recently recalled, he played at Cincinnati this year. Thrown in front and tipped away into the corner to Scott Thomas. Thomas tipped and rocked that on a check by Boyd Devereaux. Puck comes back in the Detroit zone and an icing call against the Kings. 5:57 to go in the first period. The Kings have a goal. They've even had one waved off. They lead at 1-0. We are back live at the home of the Kings, Staples Center. Another capacity plus crowd on hand here tonight. The Kings have a 1-0 lead. They're trying to wrap up the series 4-2.
Well, I see another town score, Pittsburgh beating Washington, so I hope a trend continues here tonight. No 7-game series so far in the first round. Let's hope that stays this way by the end of this game.
So Pittsburgh wraps that one up. Face off to the right of Felix Potvin. Williams on the draw, but the Kings win the face-off. Stumpel that is knocked down by Williams, though, of Detroit. Taken down by Schneider. Backs it around, he hit the referee, then got it again, and couldn't clear it out yet. Now he does. Out to center ice. He hit Don Koharski down the corner. The referee. Up back at center ice.
That'll teach him to call that goal back. Again, Bob, just a reminder, though, it is the supervisor above, the replay official, that will make a call on the goal that was taken away from Robitaille. The non-goal, I should say. It looked like he could put in.
Boy, Devereaux on the corner pass, hit a skate and deflected into the right corner. Held in by Larry Murphy. Now here's Williams. Jason Williams checked there. Kings dig it out, and they throw it the length of the ice. On target and a save by Osgood. Kings want to get a line change, so a quick pass up the center to Murphy. Now to Verbeek. Verbeek checked the ball on the board by Nelson Emerson, who digs it out. Back to center ice they come. Here's Smolinski across the line. Red wing zone. Throws it in deep. Fedorov checked there by Deadmarsh. Fedorov stays right with it. Deadmarsh right with him. Puck almost stolen, but cleared up out of play. into the Red Wing bench. 4:53 to go in the first. 1-0 Kings.
Well, the Red Wings trying to get the scrambles going, Bob. They've been effective in the first period in scramble situations, trying to get one behind Potvin. None so far.
Controlled by Fedorov, can't take it away. He got Smolinski in front. Here's Nelson Emerson. Taken away by Duchesne as he flipped it in the corner. Dandino had it. And a hard check by Carlotti. Puck is cleared up in the air and deep in the Detroit zone. Here's Fedorov trying to get to it. He's checked in the corner. Fedorov trying to kick it loose, and he does that behind the net. He's tied up there. Dragged down. Redmond's given to Larionov. His pass on the left wing side to Dandino. Dandino chasing it in, and Carlotti checks in. Puck fired around the boards and not out. Held in by the Red Wings. Here's Larionov. Larionov up the middle. Shot saved by Potvin. A shot by Dandino. Red Wings still try to hold it in. Can't do it. It's cleared up out of play by Glenn Murray.
Now the hits and the bodies are flying, Bob. Jari Carlotti was out there. He had one big hit in the Red Wing zone, and then the puck came all the way back. He's been the most physical player in this series. The referees ruled that Kozlov touched that one. So Carlotti gets Kozlov. Then on the next play, Dandino. But watch this hit. You see why Carlotti goes in there? He makes contact, but he also keeps his body in good position. It's that hit and pin mentality. Dandino was there, but once the contact was there and was hard, Dandino could not get to the loose puck. Good body position by Jari Carlotti.
Faceoff is going to be just inside the King blue line. Brent Gilchrist to the Red Wings against Eric Belanger of the Kings. Belanger's got assists and points in 3 straight games. And the puck slides all the way back in the Detroit zone. We're down to 4 minutes left to go in the first period. Kings with a 1-0 lead. Stopping power play goal from Deadmarsh and Palffy at 2:19 in the first period. Red Wings, McCarty, but offside. Called against the Wings.
Bob, the Wings are keeping it simple here in the first period. They're on the breakouts. They're using chip passes. There's Scotty Bowman. So, I think Scotty realizes with the makeup of his team, and they've lost a little skill. They still have a lot of skill, and they have a great man behind the bench. Look at those Stanley Cups won as a head coach. But now they're going to no chip passes, just jumping the puck, dumping it, lofting ahead of the play, and trying to use their team speed to jump on those loose pucks.
A lot of speculation. If the Wings do not win this series or do not play well, if they do advance in the playoffs, is this Scotty Bowman's last year? There's been so much talk about retooling of the Wings if they don't go all the way this year, and would Scotty Bowman want to be in part of a rebuilding process? Here's a point. His shot, save made. Rebound. McCarty with a backhander, knocked down by Boucher, and Boucher gets it to Robitaille. Robitaille to center ice. Detroit zone. Beat to Belanger. Belanger going in front, checked by Yuri Fisher. Still controlled to the blue line. Moldry's shot deflected, picked up now and hooked in deep by LaPerriere. Batted away from him, and Moldry again at the blue line holds it in. For LaPerriere. His pass deflected off, escape to center ice. Jaroslav Moldry back to get it. Coming down to 3 minutes left to go in the first period. Kings with a 1-0 lead. Chelios in right in front of Osgood. The bouncing puck, he gets it to the King line. Broken up there by Schneider. He gets it to Grimson, but a 2-line pass. Called against the Kings.
Now again, the Wings are getting the scrambly chances. The Kings have had the best chances other than the goal here in the first period when you talk about point-blank shots, but the Wings just trying to kind of mush it out, if you want to say that, along the boards and in front of the net. A reminder, Kings Hockey Camp coming up this summer, August 12th through the 18th. Health South Training Center, open to ages 5 to 15, and that's boys and girls. Information, 213-742-7199 and www.lakings.com. Of course, all the proceeds from Hockey Camp benefit the Kings Care Foundation.
There's Luc Robitaille. He's got points in 3 straight. 86 points in the playoffs in his career with the Kings. Gretzky's the all-time leader with 94. Robitaille second.
Trying to position Peter Remsen into the play. The face-off is just inside the blue line again. It's the second time here in the last little while. Very rarely you have a puck drop not in a circle. Buchberger against Draper.
Took a quick look at that monitor, and I guess it was Scott Thomas, not Luc Robitaille over there, that was on the bench. Now we've got Holmstrom and Grimson jockeying for position as they get ready to drop this puck inside the King blue line. Puck comes in deep, and Potvin gets it to Schneider. Schneider's pass up to center ice. Broken up with the blue line, offside Detroit as Maltby touched it. 2:42 to go. There's Scott Thomas. Well, what a game he had in the stunner at Staples in Game 4. Got the first goal and then had a chance to tie it with a great rush down the left wing, and he cut in front of the net.
And Bob, many times you don't care how goals are scored, but I think how the goals were scored and the chance Scott Thomas had were important to the rest of the game because he just decided to drive to the front. It wasn't a fancy play. The power play goalie banged in a rebound and had the breakaway. Determination by Thomas.
Scooped up there by Potvin, and how good did that feel for him? He's a guy that has spent so much of his career in the minor leagues and comes up here, gets a chance that night because Steve Kelly had the flu, although Thomas has played in games this year, but they put him in. And Jim, they always say, be ready to make the most of your opportunity, and he did.
Bob, after the Kings just clinched a playoff spot in Vancouver in the game where they picked up actually the overtime loss, but the Kings knew they were in. I sat with Scott at the back of the bus, and I just asked him if he ever played in a playoff game. He said no. He didn't have that experience, but it's all about staying in shape. And, you know, the black aces, as they call them, the players that don't play, they work as hard as anyone during the playoffs. They're just in there trying to fine-tune their skills to get ready when they're called upon.
2:37 to go in the first period. Kings win the draw in their own zone. Northman slaps it around the boards and not out. Held in. A centering pass broken up, and again they don't do it. Oriana, good shot. He's knocked down from behind by Stumpel, and the puck taken by Nordstrom.
But once again, the Wings getting those second chance opportunities, the scrambling type of plays. It's not passing that's working now for the Red Wings. It's more scramble.
Scott Thomas played the last 6 seasons in the minors. We said, did you ever think about giving up?
Well, I think anytime you're playing hockey at any level, you're being paid relatively well. It's the best job around. You couldn't go and punch the clock 9 to 5 and enjoy what you do on the ice, and that's basically what keeps you going. We're still hockey players deep down, and we just love the game.
Prior to this season, he played only 39 NHL games, all with the Buffalo Sabres. His last NHL season before this year, 93-94. But he stayed with it. Puck is in the right wing corner of the Kings zone. Red Wings keeping the pressure on here. They're down 1-0. Kozlov pass over to Lidstrom. Takes a shot. Then he shoots it, a save by Potvin. Stick save, and the rebound to Nordstrom, and he clears it out to center ice. 1:55 left to go here in the first period. Kings get it over to Carolani. Checked by Kozlov up to center ice. Kings with a 1-0 lead. Here's Glenn Murray. Murray throws it back over to Smolinski. He sends it across the line, and Larry Murphy back in to get it. To Martin Lapointe. Now Lidstrom. His pass right side cutting in. Gilchrist in front. He shoots it wide to the left. Maybe Nordstrom got a piece of it from behind. And back come the Kings. 3-on-3. Smolinski across the line, but he runs into Glenn Murray, and the puck cleared back into the Kings zone.
I think you're right. I think Matty Nordstrom sprawled. He stuck out his stick, got the stick on it. That forced, I think, Gilchrist with his speed to shoot the puck wide.
Wings, Chelios drives it in. Back over to get it now is Ziggy Palffy. Palffy makes a nice move there on Verbeek. Then he gets knocked down, but clears it out to center ice into the Detroit zone. Chelios up to center ice. Knocked down in the neutral zone. Kings win. Pass ahead with 1 minute left to go in the first period. Palffy throws it in. He gets knocked down by Maltby. Puck comes to Stumpel. In front. Robitaille on a save. Robitaille again. Throws it up the middle. Taken away. And back come the Red Wings. 47 seconds to go in the first period. Draper driving down the right side. It on Schneider. Draper shoots. Save. Rebound. Shot up high by Verbeek. And a penalty against the Kings. Or knocked out of the air with a high stick. Excuse me. Knocked out of the air with a high stick, but Robitaille at the other end, Jim, with another good chance.
And I couldn't believe Robitaille got as much wood on the shot as he did. It was a hard pass from behind the net. But the Wings have shown their speed, Bob, and it is team speed. Earlier that play by Gilchrist, you mentioned Nordstrom coming in. There he is. He just sprawled out, and he did make it difficult for Gilchrist to break in. You see Matty get kind of caught the wrong way. He'll spin around. Gilchrist will lower his shoulder. You ever gone up for a layup and you think you're going to be blocked, so you kind of go a little harder? Watch this. Gilchrist thinks he's going to get hit. He does, so watch right here. He follows through too hard, and the puck goes into the corner. So good play by Nordstrom to recover on the play. Initially, it looked Gilchrist was going to make it. He feels the contact, feels he has to be extra strong, ends up stumping it in the corner.
37 and 9/10 seconds to go, and they go over to the scorers table, and they may be checking on the clock and checking on the time remaining. This building has been so loud that the timekeepers cannot hear the referee's whistle. In fact, Dave Jackson, one of the referees in one game, said, I knew I was blowing my whistle and I couldn't hear it. 40 and 2/10 seconds left to go here in the first period. On the draw to the wings, have it at center ice. Over to Dandino. He throws it in. Comes around toward Carolina. He's on Fedorov. Wings try to get it to McCarty. McCarty into the corner. He pulls it free. 25 seconds to go in the period. Here's McCarty on the right side. Tip there. Puck comes around the boards and it is taken by the Barriere and he clears out to center ice. Red Wings send it to the King line. McCarty had been knocked down by Nordstrom. And the puck flipped into the Red Wing zone. Lidstrom back to get it. 5 seconds left to go in the first period. Fans cheering already. They're on their feet. Carolina with it. That's going to be the end of the first period. And the Kings skate off with a 1-0 lead on the goal by Stumpel from Deadmarsh and Palffy. Kings lead 1-0. Well, the Kings with a 1-0 lead. Stumpel a power play goal. Deadmarsh and Palffy at 2:19. And we are ready to start the second period. Both teams are at full strength. The other game tonight, Pittsburgh wins in overtime. Martin Straka in overtime gives Pittsburgh a 4-3 win, and they win their series over the Washington Capitals. Carolina flips it in. The breaks off. Tipped by Osgood. Red Wings take over. Back they come to center ice. In the neutral zone, it is Fedorov. His pass taken away. King start back. Smolinski at center ice. He throws it in, and Potsenberger's taken Osgood. Played by Duchesne. Taken away by Smolinski. Detroit zone. Smolinski's pass picked up and just tipped away and cleared back out to center ice. Nice play there in the neutral zone by Matty Nordstrom. And he gets it to Smolinski, but the Kings are offside on the play.
That play by Nordstrom, Bob, was a good example of no gap whatsoever. The Wings had dumped the puck out, but Nordstrom was standing right there, so Larionov had no room to go whatsoever. It seems here to start, Bob, in the second, the Kings are going with cross-corner dumps when they're dumping the puck in. Sometimes you keep it on the strong side and allow an angle forecheck. Right here, perhaps the Kings have spotted something in the Red Wings. They're going from one side, lofting it all the way across to the far corner, then try to work the forecheck.
Stumpel line out for the Kings. Palffy's on the right wing. Deadmarsh over on the left. Red Wings pass in, sent wide to the right side by Williams. Jason Williams, and the Kings clear it back out to center ice. Bounces right at the blue line of Detroit, and Deadmarsh brought it in, but the Kings offside again at the Red Wing line.
Well, Bob, Ziggy Palffy was back there in his own zone. He found himself in a situation where he had control of the puck, but he really didn't have anywhere to go with it. So Ziggy, as we've seen many times before, he has a good understanding of when to try something and when to back off. He just lofted the puck up to center ice. And again, if a team like the Red Wings are going to get back and clog up the neutral zone, it's kind of a set play. It's not stick-to-stick passing, but you loft it over the clog up in the neutral zone, then you try to send a forecheck.
Ziggy Palffy, he's got 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points in the series. This is only his 10th career playoff game. Red Wings move it up the left wing side. Now to center ice. Devereaux check there, and Larry Murphy takes over. Devereaux again on the left wing. He shoots it in back behind the net where Potvin either faked it or fanned on it. I'm not sure which, and a penalty coming up here against the Kings.
Stumpel will go off interference. Verbeek was trying to get in on the forecheck. Bob, you mentioned that play by Potvin. Maybe he faked the Red Wings out. He may have faked the Kings out too. Looked like he was going to slap it, but let it go. The puck made its way to the far corner. You see Stumpel move in, and there's a little bit of contact, and Koharski was just turning around at the wrong time, I guess, so to speak, and Stumpel gets caught for just sticking out the hip. Interference to call. Wings back on the power play.
They are 0 for 1 tonight. They had 1 shot on their previous man advantage. There's Stumpel in the penalty box. There's Pat Verbeek.
They'll be sniffing around the net, Bob. They have Holmstrom out there, and certainly the position of Holmstrom is go to the front. If Lidstrom and Duchesne can get the shots through, the guy picking up garbage, many times Pat Verbeek.
Here is Duchesne over to Nicholas Lidstrom. Cross ice pass to Fedorov. His shot blocked by Nordstrom. Fedorov again in the corner. Back to the blue line. Duchesne shoots, save, rebound. Verbeek shot it. It hit the glove or post, I'm not sure which, and stayed out. We know it stayed out. That's the important thing. Here's Lidstrom. Throws it down in the corner. Carlotti with a check there. Red Wings with a power play. Trying to tie it up. We're early in the second period. The puck given away and cleared by Glenn Murray.
It was Verbeek, Bob, that had that rebound chance. He just tried to chip it high. I think Potvin got his glove on it, but may have went off the post too.
Holmstrom across the line to Larionov. Larionov back to the blue line. Held onside. Lidstrom gives it left side to Larionov. Larionov again. Back to Nicholas Lidstrom. He fakes a shot. Right side, shot from there, save, rebound is saved by Potvin. They're trying to pull Holmstrom off of Matty Nordstrom.
And Don Koharski, Bob, the referee, was right there. He whistled with the washout signal. They can still review these things. Video review can be used without the referee calling up, but Koharski was there. Nordstrom was involved with Holmstrom. Both Swedish-born players. Larionov's off to the side. Here's Holmstrom in front. Now the shot comes through, hits Potvin. He didn't really see it, so it was a screen. Larionov with a whack, and Potvin, here's the referee. Look at his view right here. He's trying to find if that puck is underneath, and you see the washout signal. So Potvin did not see the initial shot. He just saw it the last second to get his arm up. Larionov had the best poke, and there's Holmstrom coming in over top of Matty Nordstrom. What Matty didn't appreciate was the cross-check he picked up right in the back. Goal cam right there shows us that Potvin reaches back with the right arm, gets his entire right arm in front of the goal line. Puck has to go all the way across that goal line.
Whereas the Red Wings are still, some of them, a little upset, I think, over the goal that Stumpel scored in the comeback game, saying they never did see it completely across the line, but in our replay you saw Osgood drag his foot and then it touched the line. So it was in. Puck cleared back out to center ice. 38 seconds left to go in the King penalty. Red Wings, Larionov moves it on the left side. Back to the blue line. Lidstrom shoots, save, rebounds, poked away, and the Kings clear it out. It was cleared away from in front by Schneider. Then a hard check by Lapointe knocks down Ziggy Palffy. 18 seconds left to go in the power play. Larionov comes across the line. Gives it to Lapointe. Behind the net again. Now bounces on the left wing board. Held in by the wing. Up the middle. Lidstrom, his shot blocked. Held in. Right side and now out to center ice. The pass to Lidstrom. And the Kings are back at full strength. Stumpel out of the penalty box. Kings still lead 1-0. Fans roar their approval of the penalty killers. Stumpel tips it ahead toward Palffy. But a offside going to be called here with 16:33 to go in the second period.
No, Palffy was involved on that penalty kill. The Red Wings, Bob, got their shots. They didn't necessarily have the traffic in front to screen Potvin, but the Wings were certainly there looking to pick up loose pucks on rebounds. But that's when players like Miller and Nordstrom got back to protect. Stumpel was out there with Palffy. We've talked about it many times, Bob, in the last month. The big change in the Kings penalty kill happened back in the regular season when they decided to go with more of an offensive player as a style on the penalty kill. It certainly worked for them. They turned it around. The Wings 0 for 2 so far.
Face-off in the neutral zone, and it comes to Brent Gilchrist. Gilchrist, the veteran, 13th year in the league. He's got it again. Comes across the King line, broken up there. Back to LaPerriere at center ice. Belanger tried to get it. Gilchrist had to wait for the Wings to get on side and gave it away to Robitaille. Robitaille's pass knocked down the blue line by Chelios. Picked up now by the Kings, but they don't clear it. Modry's pass comes around. Gilchrist had it. Now taken in deep by Yaroslav Modry. Modry sends it behind the net to Philippe Boucher. Boucher's pass out to center, broken up by Yeri Fisher. Here's Modry back to get it. And an offside here against Detroit.
So the Kings trying to get out of their zone. The Wings backing off in the neutral zone. Got back to game 5 in Detroit. Loft pass early. Ziggy Palffy puts it home. 1-0 Kings. Belanger will just slide it across to LaPerriere. Lappy's right there to bang it in. That made it 2-0. The Wings got a couple of goals. At this point, it's 2-1. That made it 3-1. Maybe the biggest goal of the game. Ends up being the game winner. But because Detroit had just scored before that, Deadmarsh came back on the 2-on-1, and there's Ziggy Palffy. Is he crabby tonight? Looks like he's crabby on the bench. They were joking about that in game 5. They said when Ziggy Palffy gets back to the bench and just starts yelling at guys, most of the Slovak or Czech guys, that means he's involved in the game. When he was involved in game 5, he picked up an assist. And right now we have a penalty coming up against Stu Grimson. Holmstrom goes down. And you know what? Well, this has been happening all night long. There has been jostling before the face-off. You'll see Grimson involved with Holmstrom. They both lock up. We'll see if the stick comes up. Whoa, that's Holmstrom helping that along on the way. And I'm very surprised, Bob, that Terry Gregson, the referee, cannot see that. It looks like it, but what's happening is Holmstrom is just waiting for contact, and then he's diving on the play. And the reason I bring it up is because that play has nothing to do absolutely with anything. Both players are jostling. Just because one goes down doesn't mean the other is guilty. I think that's my view from up here. And again, I'm surprised because Gregson is a veteran official. 2 power plays in a row against the Kings.
The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty goes to Grimson. Now the Lynx with another chance. Puck rolls in front and score! Tipped in. Potvin was going to sweep it away, and it's tipped in, and the game is tied 1-1.
Now that's the style of goal the Red Wings are trying to pick up tonight, Bob. The style of goal is just scrappy. They haven't been working on any design plays and weaves and crisscrosses. They end up with an ugly one right here, but it counts nonetheless. They're going to give it to Lapointe, his first of the season. Verbeek just throws it. You'll see Lapointe come in. I don't think Lapointe even touched it. Verbeek may end up getting the goal. Lapointe actually skates right by it, right there, and it is Potvin who was just trying to wave it away with a paddle of his stick. It hit Potvin on the inside of the blocker. From the goal cam, you'll see Potvin and the momentum carry the puck over the line. It'll end up being a power play goal. The setup really didn't matter. Red Wings tied up 1-1.
Now at center ice. Kings have it. A pass kicked ahead by Palffy across the line. Wings break it up there. The Red Wings have outshot the Kings 14-9. And they have tied the game at 1. Here is Fedorov. Playing it away from Stumpel. Fedorov behind the net. Stumpel stays right with it. Fedorov protects the puck. Back to Lidstrom. Lidstrom's pass. Deflected off of Stumpel. Held in by the Wings again. Into Fedorov. Stumpel checks in. Behind the net to Lariano. He's picked up by Nordstrom. Stumpel with it. His pass. Out to center ice. They're going to give the goal now to Verbeek, his second to the playoffs from Lidstrom and Duchesne. So Verbeek threw it in front and apparently went off the stick of Potvin as he tried to clear and it just deflected in. Kings get it back over to Zigmund Palffy. Can't get a shot. Tipped away from him on a nice play by Nicholas Lidstrom. Here on the left side, a 2-line pass against the Wings. Let's take a look at it again. Verbeek is going to get credit for the goal.
Again, it was just kind of a broken play from the standpoint of the puck along the boards. It's kept in right here by Verbeek. He throws it to the front. Lapointe's going to come out from behind to the front of the net, but he doesn't really. What he does is he whacks the stick of Carlotti. That allows the puck to keep coming through. Then the bank off the blocker or the stick of Potvin. And again, it ends up being a power play goal, Bob, but it really had nothing to do with setup. But that is the style I think the Red Wings have adopted in tonight's game, and they have to do that. Shanahan's out. Yzerman's out. You're going to need to just figure out a way to get pucks in any way you can, and that's that type of goal that was scored. Certainly not pretty. Verbeek gets credit.
Lidstrom and Duchesne with the assist at 4:20, and this game tied 1-1. Now face-off just inside the blue line. Smolinski draws it back to center, and Snyder's pass hit a body, but is taken by Smolinski. Rolls it back behind the net. Up to the blue line and out to center ice. Chased in by Aaron Miller. Verbeek trying to beat him to it, and he did not. Aaron Miller got back. Boy, that was close.
But that wasn't only a race as far as foot speed goes. That was trying to get body position. As soon as Miller felt he got 1/2 step in front of Verbeek, he changed his position. You'll see him come kind of this way towards Verbeek. The body position first, reach out with a stick. Whoever gets there first, it is Miller, icing against the Red Wings.
Faceoff will be in the Red Wing zone. There is Aaron Miller. Great acquisition by King General Manager Dave Taylor. They got him from Colorado, along with Adam Deadmarsh. Now the fans trying to get Chris Osgood off of his game. Kings have got to get a little momentum back here in this second period. Inside, here's Aaron Miller, right side, Detroit zone. Miller in deep, tries to center it, taken away by Draper. He gets it up on the right side to Verbeek. Verbeek's pass, left wing side to Dandino. Dandino in front, shoots, save and a rebound. Swept into the corner. Nice save by Potvin. Good chance for Dandino. Lapointe's pass, back over to Verbeek. Verbeek Lost it at the blue line, but he holds it in. Nice play by Pat Verbeek. Gets it behind the net. Aaron Miller goes for it. It's centered up the middle and tipped out to center ice by Robitaille.
Right now, you're exactly right, Bob. The Kings are just trying to find any way to get back in this game. Right now, puck possession, it's all Red Wings.
Verbeek's pass comes across the line, and he gets the left wing boards. Aaron Miller checked there by Draper. LaPerriere digs it out. He gets it to Belanger. He's checked at center ice by McCarty, and the Wings chase it down. McCarty in the corner. Aaron Miller checks in. Miller takes his time behind the net, but it's tipped away. Red Wings wrap around. McCarty shoots. He scores! And the Red Wings lead 2-1.
Now the momentum has changed, and the Wings just forcing chances, Bob. That's all forecheck. McCarty ended up with a lot of time. The Kings never really had possession of the puck, but they did have it earlier, Bob, in the neutral zone and couldn't make it to the red line. I think McCarty started it off with a check on Belanger. You'll see the end of it. There's Miller with a puck. McCarty keeps going. Draper will just keep it alive. Watch McCarty. He comes out, doesn't shoot it right away. And as Potvin is kind of readjusting himself, he just sneaks it in the short side, high above the shoulder and the blocker. So the tide has changed here. Watch McCarty. Waits. Can't find any room. And right there, yeah, goes off the side of the body of Potvin. Then on the short side. But earlier in the neutral zone, the Kings could not get the puck out. And McCarty puts it home. Wings lead it 2-1.
McCarty's first of the series. Draper with the assist at 6:42.
Well, there's McCarty, Bob. You know, he's been injured. He has the ankle problem. But it was early. You'll see Belanger right here. Watch McCarty come in and take the body. So the Kings unable. I know I'm going back a long period of time, but the Kings could not get to the red line and take off the pressure. From this point on, this is the Red Wings taking over. A lot of contact in behind. You'll see McCarty just kind of zip out this way right in this position. And again, there is poise here by McCarty. Many times the player will just try and jam it. McCarty didn't do it right there. He held on until he thought he could look, pick a spot, and fire. He gets it on the short side. 2-1 Wings.
2 goals in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And the Wings, trying to tie this series, have now taken the lead in this game 2-1. Kings Jari Karolahti back in his own zone. Now up ahead, Stumpel, right side. Here's Ziggy Palffy coming in. Along the front, he shoots. Tipped wide as Fedorov got back in a hurry.
Well, that was important. Fedorov did not allow Palffy to make the move he wanted, so Fedorov never giving up on the back check.
Here come the Wings again. Pass on the left side to Larry Murphy. Didn't get it, and an offside. So Ziggy Palffy with a chance here, but credit Fedorov with getting back in a hurry on the back check. One of the Kings' biggest fans, Kurt Russell. Not quite 3,000 miles from Graceland, but here tonight at Staples Center. Kings in the drive, down to the blue line, is wide to the right side, and picked up off the boards and cleared back to center. Philippe Boucher got the shot, now he chases it down into the Kings zone. Red Wings with a 2-1 lead. Stumpel tipped it up and not out. Chased in behind the net. Philippe Boucher, he got checked there by LaPointe. Kings put it in their own zone, and it is not cleared yet. Wings hold it in again. Deadmarsh has lost his stick. And the puck held into the right point by Chelios. Now it comes out to center. Chased down by Palffy, but flipped up out of play by Jiri Fischer.
And Fischer taking no chances right there. He just used his backhand to chip it. Palffy was chasing down the loose puck, although I think the Kings passed it ahead with a glove, so it may not have counted anyway.
Andy Murray trying to win his first ever playoff series. Kings could do it with a win here tonight. They've got to regain some momentum. 8:29 to go in the second period, and the Red Wings have taken a 2-1 lead with 2 goals in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Here's Karolahti. Almost lost it, but then counted ahead. It's swept down and deep by LaPerriere. Matthew Dandino up ahead now to Chris Draper. Draper's pass, left side, Palffy turns, shoots, and a save by Potvin. Well, the Wings are getting a lot of space now as they come across the King blue line.
You know, Bob, they're being able to back off the Kings defensemen, so Potvin's been in a situation where he's been facing, when you talk about the momentum, it changed on the penalty against Stu Grimson. You see in the second period, the goals, that's obvious. The shots, 8-3, but the scoring chances, even more of an indication of how things have gone here in the second period. So Grimson went off for that unsportsmanlike conduct. Verbeek ends up getting the power play goal. McCarty comes right back to the next shift. Momentum did change, and the Wings keep going. Again, Bob, it's not the passing style, the possession style that the Wings are known for. It's more dumping in and chase with those pucks.
Here the Wings, the older team, and people thought the trip back here might wear them out, but boy, they've come on after trailing 1-0. Held in by Maltby, and here's Carlotti. And taken away by the Wings. Draper throws it in. Holmstrom into the corner. Tipped away. Carlotti again. Up on the boards, and it is still in the Kings zone. Carlotti runs into Holmstrom. Puck slapped around the boards by Nordstrom. Held in and rolls toward the net. Knocked down by Potvin. Here's Carlotti. Nordstrom has thrown the stick behind the net. Comes up to center ice. Slapped down in deep in the Red Wing zone. Smolinski over to get it. Back behind the net to LaFerriere. He gets tied up. Robitaille went for it. Didn't get it. Now Smolinski tried to take it away. Puck comes to the blue line. Held in by Aaron Miller. But now it bounces back out to center. And here's Maltby. Draper had no stick. He was looking for a pass, but he didn't have a stick. Here's Robitaille. Left side of the zone. Robitaille in front. Tipped wide by Smolinski. Aaron Miller with it. Put it back behind the net. Robitaille back on the right side. Played by Smolinski. Back to Robitaille. Didn't get it. Here's Scott Thomas. Thomas left corner. He dropped it off, but Fedorov has it. Sends it up the middle to Lidstrom. And the Red Wings back up to center ice. Chelios gets checked and offside, or puck came up out of play into the bench.
That's right. Berkberger was trying to change. Brian Smolinski had a whack at it on the last one, Bob. The Wings were trying to counterattack. They lost control of the puck, got caught in a change. So the Kings have some pressure. Smolinski comes right through here. There's the redirection try. Robitaille did a good job on that one, waiting as long as possible, waiting for Smolinski to get in position. There's Brian breaking right through, and that close, just shanking it kind of off of his stick. He tries to shank it. That's what you're trying to look for here, just to try to change direction. And Smolinski was right there in front of Osgood.
Now the crowd getting to their feet here with 6:49 to go in the second period, and the Kings down 2-1. They want to see them wrap it up here tonight. It's been since 1993 that the home crowd has seen the Kings win a playoff series. Schneider at center ice, slaps it into Scott Thomas, right wing side. Thomas knocked down from behind, and it is held in by Kelly Buchberger, but taken away by Yuri Fisher. Over to the right side of Chelios. He got snapped on the top of the helmet with a stick, I believe, of Scott Thomas. Here's Yuri Fisher. He throws it into the King zone. Schneider over to get it to Glenn Murray. Murray's pass brought to center by Aaron Miller. He gives it to Glenn Murray. Tipped away at the blue line and offside. Called against the Kings.
Well, the Wings are defending that blue line, Bob. They're standing up. The Kings had speed there on the last attack, but it was Chris Chelios made the play standing up at his own blue line. And obviously that blue line will become more important as the game goes along. It's a read of a play by a defenseman. Now Chelios was outnumbered, and many times when you're outnumbered you back off, but he just stood up long enough to chip the puck. That knocked it off stride, and the Kings on the far side of the ice going offside.
Kings have been outshot 18-12 in the game. There's Chris Chelios. He hasn't missed the playoffs very often. One time. Stumpel's got the King goal tonight. He gets it back to Yaroslav Moldry. Ties it in. Right side of Detroit zone. Now we put it behind the net, but it bounced away back along the boards, and the Red Wings move it up to center ice. Dandino down in deep, and here is Boyd Devereaux. Devereaux behind the net. Check there. Verbeek picks it up. His pass broken up by Stumpel. Stumpel headmans it up ahead to center ice. Adam Deadmarsh shoots it back behind the net. Stopped there by Osgood. Wings moved it along the right wing boards. Checked by Stumpel. Puck held in by Palffy. Palffy up the middle. Shot by Boucher, and a save by Osgood. And right in front of the net was Deadmarsh. But Osgood saw it, and he made the save. Still 2-1 Detroit. We'll be back in a moment. Look at the fans again here at Staples on their feet again for the second time in about the last 2 minutes. Urging the Kings on. 2-1 Detroit. is held in the right point. Down in the corner and back to the blue line where it is forced off the center by Devereaux. Kings back to get it in their own zone. Get back into the neutral zone and battle along the boards, and Devereaux fires it right back behind the King net. Go Kings go, the chant now. We're coming down to 5 minutes to go here in the second period. Smolinski to center ice. Turns and drives it in, and a save by Osgood.
Well, Osgood had to be careful there, Bob. That was a long shot, but it was a bouncing shot by Brian Smolinski, and Osgood angled his pad down to make sure the puck didn't shoot out in front of him. That last shot coming in by Brian Smolinski. Again, it's a long shot, but it bounced, I think, just in front, maybe in the slot. You see the puck rolling already. It comes in, a little knuckle. Will it hit the ice first? Yes, it does. It bounces, and you have to keep an eye on it. There is Osgood. Good job by the goaltender, Bob. He got his entire body in front. Didn't want to take any chances.
Exactly 5 minutes left to go here in the second period. Chris Osgood, 2.40 goals against coming in tonight. 2 wins and 3 losses in the series. Osgood in the regular season played 52 games and a 2.69 goals against. He was blistering his teammates after that last game at home in Detroit.
Okay, Bob, we just talked about showing up. He felt his guys didn't show up. He made some big saves. The Wings have shown up tonight.
Nordstrom to Gilchrist all over his back. That's out in front, and Lange couldn't get through it. Carlotti, he holds it in. Now back behind the net, Chelios. His pass up the left wing boards and cleared out to center ice. Kings back to get it. Here's Carlotti. Reverses it off over to Andy Nordstrom. Chased by Gilchrist. Carlotti can't find the puck. It's picked up now by Draper driving. Draper still with it in front. And Holmstrom couldn't get a shot. He turned. He wanted to get the backhander. He just was out of reach of the puck. And the Kings get it to center ice to the line. Oh, that was close. Chelios back behind the net. Kings down 2-1. Maltby sends it off the boards, and here's Draper. Draper in to get it. Over to Holmstrom. He gets knocked down to his knees by Stumpel. And Holmstrom looking for a whistle, and now a whistle does blow.
The faceoff will come outside. The Red Wings continue on attack. The Kings had trouble there breaking out on the last shift. So the speed coming back at him. You see Draper. He holds on. Here's the chance by Holmstrom. He misses once. He misses twice. He turns around. He's going to miss the third time. Nordstrom helps out, and finally in LaPerriere. So those broken plays continue to hurt the Kings tonight. The Kings had control, Bob, on that breakout. They were weaving, trying to get in position. There's a couple of Kings ran into each other. That's why the Wings picked up the loose puck.
Larry Murphy slaps it around at Kozlov. Kings zone. Taken away by Palffy. Up ahead down the center. 3-on-2 for the Kings. Stumpel across the line. Up the middle. Shot by Deadmarsh. Just one. Now Stumpel couldn't get to it. Deadmarsh again. Right wing boards to the blue line. Aaron Miller. His shot blocked in front. And the Red Wings have it.
Now Larry Murphy blocking that one, Bob. He fronted everyone. If that puck gets through, 2 Kings standing right in front of Osgood.
Aaron Miller bats it out of midair. Comes right back to him. And he picks it up into the neutral zone. Palffy over to Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh picked by Larry Murphy. Deadmarsh in the corner. It's knocked down by Murphy. Murphy on top of Deadmarsh. Puck dug out by Fedorov, and the Red Wings with 3:08 to go in the second come back to center ice. Kozlov, his shot and a save in the glove of Potvin. Red Wings in a line change. Kings back to center. Fired in by Smolinski. Around toward Glenn Murray. Murray down in deep, didn't get to it. Duchesne did. He moves it quickly to Maltby. Now to center ice to McCarty. McCarty's shot blocked. And cleared up on the right side, but over the head of Emerson. Duchesne, the former King, sends it to the King line. Mulgre's pass, blocked at center ice. Loose puck back into the King blue line and picked up now by Smolinski. Trying to move it ahead to Glenn Murray. Stopped by Osgood. 2:45 to go. Second period. Puck cleared out to center ice. 2-1 lead for the Red Wings. They got 2 goals in 2 minutes and 22 seconds here in the second period. Red Wings again. Maltby, left side. Boucher takes it away. Checked by Draper. Chelios pulls it in. Right point. Shoots up high. Over the shoulder of Potvin. And the Kings get it to the blue line and back to center ice. Kelly Buchberger's pass taken away by Verbeek. The Wings with new life here in the second period. They're going to get called for icing here, though, as Nordstrom touches up. 1:52 to go in the second period, and a face-off in the Red Wing zone.
Now, a reminder, if you want to find out about youth hockey in Southern California, you can contact the Amateur Hockey Association, www.scaha.com. Bob, the Kings with only 14 shots here at this point in the game, and that's another part, you know, you've got to give credit where credit's due. The Wings come in, they're shorthanded from the standpoint of skilled players. You're going to clog things up, you're going to lock it up, you're going to emphasize defense. First period started with more of a flow as far as open ice for the Kings, but since the Wings have got back into the game on the goal by Verbeek, they've really clamped it up, especially in their own zone. The Kings will have to find ways to outnumber the Wings because the Wings, a five-man unit defensively.
Kings win the draw. Carlotti shoots up high and a save by Osgood.
Oh, the big blast. The Kings win the draw. Belanger taking the draw for the Kings. I don't know if the Kings were able to make their way in front to screen. We'll see it right here. Carlotti will take the puck to the middle. Look at Scott Thomas. He's trying to find the front, and Osgood just looks one. Wow. Good play by the goaltender. He had to look to his right to get around Scott Thomas, and the puck was going to the left. You see Carlotti in the front of the middle right there. The shot is high. You got to get it through. Osgood makes a save. Anytime it's up around the gloves, you've got to hold on for the faceoff.
Again, a faceoff in the Red Wing zone. Belanger against Fedorov. And the Red Wings control this one. Martin Lapointe. Up ahead to Verbeek at center ice. Fedorov tipped away from him. Verbeek back to get it. He's checked by Scott Thomas. A minute and a half left to go here in this second period. Scott Thomas across the line, but Fedorov comes back to kick it away. Wings clear it into the King zone, right toward Potvin. He leaves it there, and Kings start back out with time running out in this second period. Tip to the Red Wing line. Larry Murphy. Check there. His pass in center ice, taken away. Kings get it to Robitaille. Now over the left side. Here's Stumpel in front of Scott Thomas. He couldn't get a stick on it. Robitaille went for it, didn't get it. Red Wing try to chip it out, and they do. 1 minute left to go in the second period. Kings take it away. Stumpel into the Red Wing zone. Stumpel driving on Larry Murphy. Murphy cuts him off. Stumpel looking for someone to pass to, but it's deflected in the wings. Bring it to center ice. Hustling back. Put back to center ice. Kings get a man right wing. Deadmarsh. He shoots. And it's deflected wide to the left side as Osgood came out to meet him, and the puck comes out to center ice. Kings get back outside. Deadmarsh again. Into Palffy. Palffy behind the net. Takes a swipe at it, but Holmstrom has it. Holmstrom for Detroit. Checks in front of the King net. Kings pick it up. Now a pass to the blue line. Here's Zigmund Palffy. Dropped it back right side. 17 seconds to go in the period. Palffy. Left side to Schneider. Off the stick. Schneider holds it in. Gets it into Deadmarsh. He let it go to Smolinski. Smolinski in the corner. Smolinski trying to get it away from Draper. Out behind the net. Puck rolls right side. 2 seconds to go in the period, and that is it. A big period for the Red Wings. They lead 2-1 with 1 period left.
Well, it was better, Bob, the last 3 minutes for the Kings. They finally found a way to get themselves involved with offensive attacks with a little bit of speed. They're just putting the puck wide. They're not trying to pass this through the middle. That's the game plan in the third. Get the puck wide, use speed, try to get shots on goal.
Well, things not looking too good for the Kings right now as they try to wrap up this series and eliminate the Red Wings. They're down 2-1 at the end of 2. Let's go back and talk a little bit, though, about the first period. Things happen in a weird way. Larionov, who doesn't take a lot of penalties, takes a penalty, and the Kings score right away to get a 1-0 lead, which, Jim, you've been in that situation. How important is it get that lead at home?
I think at home, especially again when you're the underdog. When you're the favorite, if you score first, it's expected. If you're the underdog, like the Kings still were, even though they had a chance to wrap up the series, they're still the underdog. You get that first goal, it sets everything else up. And then those changing things. Larionov, the guy you would least expect to take any penalty, let alone a high sticking penalty where he was kind of retaliating, protecting himself, that sets a tone. Detroit was known as a team that had the veteran players. Now the Kings seemed like a team that was together. They were waiting for the breaks. They were doing the right things at the right time, and I think that was a turnaround in the series. All of a sudden, it seemed like the Kings were playing with poise.
And you mentioned the aggressive penalty killing by the Kings, and we mentioned a couple of defensemen. We mentioned Schneider and Carlotti, but Aaron Miller came to the Kings late in that season. Then he missed the final 9 games with a sprained wrist, but I thought he played very strong in this series.
The chippy style of Aaron Miller is so important. You get into the corner with him, especially as Bob just mentioned on a penalty kill. Time like a quarterback in the NFL, you give him time, he's going to hit the receiver. Well, the Red Wings on a power play, give them time, they're going to find the open man. They didn't do that because of guys like Aaron Miller, who were just taking away the time. I remember commenting on the Kings rotation where you had to know where the puck was being passed before it was passed. And the Kings did their homework. They really worked on the penalty kill. And as I mentioned earlier, that's one of the things that changed in the series. No longer was the power play advantage Detroit. It seemed like the Kings were getting the better chances.
Now, late in the period, Schneider hits the goal post, would have given the Kings a 2-0 lead. Then an unfortunate play for the Kings, although I think the right call, and we showed it on the replay. Robitaille got knocked down, and his leg swept forward and kicked the puck into the net.
That's one time when you have the video replay. They took a look at the video. It was one of the things where, Luke, it was so funny. He had a chance to get it with a stick, and he missed. And Luke knows how to put the puck in the net, whether it's legal or illegal. He just found a way. He did sweep his leg underneath. Whether he could feel the puck was there or not, or whether he actually knew it was there, it's just a matter he was taking a chance. It hit his leg. The right call was made. And again, the word that Andy Murray was using through all that was just make sure you keep going. Make sure you don't break. You can bend, but don't break. And the Kings had that. They were resilient, and they went from there.
Now, in the second period, they could have broken because there was a play where Potvin went to make a save and swept it into his own net. And so things were starting to turn maybe a little bit against the Kings there.
Goaltending, bad goals will kill you at any time. I think the Kings' first goal that they scored was kind of a bad goal with Chris Osgood. Then the Wings get one back, and it was a weird break. But again, it just didn't seem to faze the Kings from that standpoint. It was interesting to see as the game went along, though. Going in, the Red Wings were always known as a finesse team. But because of injuries, it changed the theme of their team a little bit. It changed their style. They were more aggressive on the forecheck, and when they were physical, they became a better team. If the Kings could control that, actually the Kings got better when they used speed. So once again, things are turning around, and it seems to benefit the Kings.
Talk about finesse. Darren McCarty, not exactly known for finesse, but he scored a beautiful goal, hanging onto the puck, coming out from behind the net.
Patience is the biggest thing when you talk about scoring goals as a goal scorer. And McCarty is not known as a guy who has a goal scorer's touch, but he came from behind the net. He held. He waited for the goaltender to go down. That was a goal scorer's goal. Again, the Kings now are back on their heels. They're trailing the game, but it didn't seem like at any point in this game one team was controlling the play over the other. I think there's a lot of mood changes, a lot of momentum changes in any playoff game, but this one seemed to just kind of go back and forth, but the Kings still trailed after two.
You mentioned late in the last 3 minutes, the Kings changed their strategy. Instead of trying to go down the middle, they went wide with speed, and it seemed to pay off.
I think Detroit was just content. You know how to play with a lead. You know how to play when it's tied. You just deflect everything to the outside. And certainly, by not taking it up to middle, it's not as dangerous. On the outside, it's more difficult to score. But what it does, it allows you to back off the other team's defense. It gives your own puck carriers a little bit of better feel. And now the speed becomes effective. Again, the Kings weren't necessarily known as the offensive skill team over the Red Wings, but because they kept the puck going forward, and to kind of foreshadow ahead on a game-winning goal that scored later on, it was just a matter of putting the puck forward, getting it over the blue line. You don't have to worry about offside. Keep it going forward. Sooner or later, there's going to be a loose puck.
Gee, I think he gave away what might happen in this game. Anyway, the Kings are trailing 2-1 at the end of 2 periods, and right after these messages, we're going to come back and we'll take a look at the third period.
Well, the Kings need another third period comeback tonight. They're down 2-1, trying to wrap the series up. If not, we'll be with you Wednesday night on Fox Sports Net, 4 o'clock from Detroit, Game 7. Puck put down into the Kings zone. Nordstrom not to touch it. He gets hit hard by Holmstrom. Well, the attendance again tonight, 18,478 for the third time. It ties the largest crowd ever to see a hockey game in California.
And Bob, we touched on it in the second intermission. We'll see if the Kings can get that speed they generated on the outside. Again, the initial speed is not the danger because the Wings will want to keep the puck on the outside. But I think that's the type of game the Kings have to go to here. It's keep the puck going forward, keep it going forward. If you get slowed down to wait for someone to get open, the play may break up. You got to keep it going, north and south.
Face off in the Red Wing zone, and Draper got knocked down, but he got up and cleared it out to center. Schneider sends it back into the Red Wing zone. They change on the fly as Lidstrom goes off.
Bob, another example right there of Lidstrom and his importance to the team. Defensive zone draw, they had Lidstrom out there, just in case something goes wrong. As soon as the Wings leave the zone, they make the change. A young defenseman, Fisher, comes on the ice.
Here is Yuri Fisher with it right now. Second year, their number 1 pick in '98. He's out of the Czech Republic. Puck rolls in deep behind the net. Touched up by Aaron Miller. And an icing call against Detroit.
Well, Bob, I talked about it earlier. There have been no 7-game series so far in the first round.
Remember our last 7th game? It was in Toronto back in '93, and the Kings won it. Move into the Stanley Cup Finals. Pass up the middle, turning shot by Palffy, just deflected wide by Deadmarsh. Just deflected wide of the left goal post. And Osgood just saw it as it went by the post. Karlotti puts it high in the air up on the glass. Comes around to Slava Kozlov. Kozlov out of Russia, clears it out to center ice. All the way back into the Kings zone. Nordstrom touching up. And an icing call against Detroit again.
Now the Wings are going to be in that mode where they're just getting the puck out of the zone. The Kings had a pretty good opportunity. Palffy ended up with a puck, and Deadmarsh, as he normally does, look at him go right to the front. Now it goes off of the defender going out. I think that's Verbeek. And you see how close that is. So it's always so important to have someone in front. Osgood did see it. There's no doubt right there. You can see his reaction. Would it have been fast enough? With Deadmarsh in front, you want to have that front net presence. That makes it difficult on goaltenders. Or even if it's not deflected, goaltender can't see it. Tough to stop it.
And on the draw, the Kings, Ziggy Palffy to the blue line. He gets it back again along the right wing board. Throws it in front, knocked away, and here come the Wings. Back to center. Left wing side, it is the Fedorov walking in, and Palffy back to knock it away. Karlotti behind the net. Puck comes to the blue line, but not out again. Held in by Fedorov. Now bounces free. Red Wing still with it. Larionov. He drops it to Kozlov. Kozlov, Fedorov, Larionov. The Russians up front. There's Larionov, but he got checked. And the Kings move it back up now to center ice to Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh across the line. Goes to the right side. Driving on Lidstrom. Tried to throw it in front. Tipped away. Matty Nordstrom slow going back over to the bench. He got tied up way back behind the play with Larionov. Puck comes down in toward the goaltender, and Boucher back together for the Kings. Up now to Yaroslav Mogul. His hard pass to Smolinski. We're in the third period. Bob Miller with Jim Fox and Bill McDowell, and the Kings down 2-1 in the game. They lead the series 3-2. Puck flipped up in the air to center ice. Yuri Fisher knocks it down there, gets it over to Verbeek. At Verbeek throws it in deep. Now Verbeek tips it off on the right side. Devereaux goes for it, taken away and cleared up to center ice by Moultrie. For the Wings to get it back again. They fight across the line. Verbeek pass left side and a save on Lapointe shot. Nice save by Potvin. Then a shot by Lapointe is wide. Continuing is Chelios. Chelios to Verbeek. Verbeek checked by Moultrie. Knocks it down. Nowinski back in together for the Kings, plays it off the boards, and it is sent up across the blue line and picked up now by Smolinski. Along the left wing side, and a centering pass is actually Glenn Murray. He got dragged down. Play continues, though. Pass up the center. Right side. Here's the point to McCarty, and he couldn't get a good shot. McCarty coming down the middle. It went off his stick, and the Kings bring it back to center. LaPerriere flips it across the line. Down in deep, Osgood leaves it for Duchesne. Duchesne's pass. Back up to center ice. Chased in by Schneider. And an icing call waved off. The Kings don't clear it yet. Dandino lost it to Schneider. Schneider fights his way to center ice. He rolls it in into the corner. And sent behind the net where Gilchrist can't clear. Nice play to Aaron Miller. Miller gave it behind the net to LaPerriere. LaPerriere checked there, he gives it to Robitaille. Robitaille trying to take it away, but the Wings get through it and don't clear. Aaron Miller holds it in. Tries it back behind the net, out of reach of Robitaille. Now the Wings get it up on the right wing. Here's Darren McCarty. He's got a goal tonight. He shoots and a save off the blocker by Potvin. McCarty's got the goal that has given Detroit a 2-1 lead. We're in the third period, just about 5 minutes in. Kings down 2-1. Barry Murphy to Holmstrom. Holmstrom's pass tipped up in the air. Loose puck. Who's got it? Kings do. Stumpel to center ice. It rolled away from him. But taken again and a pass to Deadmarsh by Carlotti. Tipped in and Osgood plays it around the board. Holmstrom kept there. Held in by Nordstrom. Comes around to Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh behind the net to Palffy. Palffy to Deadmarsh. Shoots! Sliding. Stumpel may have been trying to get it over to Stumpel, who was on the left side of the net. Red Wings come back. And Thomas Holmstrom throws it in deep. Here is a check thrown on Draper by Carlotti, and the Kings back to center ice, down 2-1. Backhand pass to Detroit zone. Osgood didn't get it. Pass hit the side of the net. Stop Thomas. Thomas along the left wing board. Thomas fights to try and hold it in. Holmstrom has it there. Checked by Thomas. Here's Smolinski. Swept away by Fisher. Held in by Aaron Miller. Now to Kelly Bookberger. Bookberger right side. Shoot. Save. Rebound. Knocked away again. Scott Thomas fights for it. Checked by Draper. Thomas. Checked by Draper into the boards. Here's Bookberger. Throws it back behind the net. And Osgood flips it around to the blue line and out to center, and back checking it Smolinski. He gives it to Scott Thomas. He goes head over heels over the shoulder of Chelios. The fans lowering their approval of that forecheck pressure by the Kings, but back come the Wings. Left side, it's Fedorov trying to get around Aaron Miller. Fedorov still with it, protects the puck, drops it to Lariano. Lariano pulls up, shot by Dandino. Knocked away. Back to the left side. The save was made by Potvin behind the net. Picked up by the Kings and cleared out to center by Eric Belanger.
Bob, certainly more wide open than I expected here in the third period. Not only for the Kings, obviously the Kings want it that way, but the Wings are giving the Kings a little bit too much room. Chances at both ends, but certainly when you're trailing, you want a wide open game.
Kings down 2-1. Here's Matthew Snyder. Snyder shoots from center ice and a save in the glove of Osgood. Wings moving around to Verbeek, knocked away by LaPerriere. He holds it in. LaPerriere, Robitaille, Belanger for the Wings. Clear it to Verbeek at center against Carlotti. His shot blocked into the corner by Carlotti. Verbeek and Carlotti go for it, now behind the net. Carlotti still battering. Verbeek gets it out. A shot and a save on the shot by Devereaux. And back come the Kings to center ice. Belanger, long shot save made by Osgood. Devereaux picks it up for the wing. He gets it to Verbeek. Verbeek to center ice. Flips it high in the air into the Kings zone. Over to get it now, and an icing call against Detroit as Modry touches up. 13 minutes to go. 2-1 Detroit. 9:56 to go, third period. Red Wings with a 2-1 lead on goals by Pat Verbeek, his second of the series, and Darren McCarty, his first. There's the King goal scorer, or was a moment ago. Stumpel getting his third. There's Gary Carlotti running on this face-off, and the Kings headed to Carlotti back in his own zone. Up ahead now to Nordstrom. Nordstrom right side and rolls it out. Osgood, a shot, score! Deadmarsh ties the game! Adam Deadmarsh, the Red Wing killer, got him right in front of Osgood, and we're tied 2-2.
Well, rarely do you talk about the speed of Jozef Stumpel, but Stumpel kept this play alive. He picked up the puck on entry. Watch Stumpel take Fisher wide. Now he keeps it alive right there by the poke. The second poke by Nordstrom. And right there, Adam Deadmarsh almost knocked that one out of the air. We're going to have a timeout call here by the Red Wings. Watch Stumpel lose it and regain it right there. And that just kept it alive long enough where it made it a difficult play for Osgood. Osgood just kicked it right back into the middle. And Adam Deadmarsh celebrates. So the Kings come back. Matty Nordstrom, watch his mom. Look at number 14. I don't know if Matty Nordstrom has ever been close to that net. Offensively, Matty always stays back defensively, but he was one of the players keeping it alive. Watch Osgood. Never had total control of it. He flicked it back out. Resets, put it into the legs. Kings tie it up 2-2.
Deadmarsh gets his second of the series. Here it is, right in the slot, and he ties the game at 2. The assist to Jozef Stumpel and Matty Nordstrom at 10-17. Deadmarsh now 24 points in 29 playoff games against Detroit.
Yeah, Bob, you'll see the play again. It's more north-south. The Kings have to keep going that way. There's the only lateral pass. Look at Stumpel. He wants that puck. Stick on the ice. That's so important. Nordstrom will go through. Look at Deadmarsh just sneak in behind. So, Bob, it's about Stumpel keeping it alive. It was about Nordstrom just changing the read. You can see Osgood right here. It's not a hard was tipped ahead a couple times. He doesn't get a feel for it. He never really gets a chance to reset. By that time, the puck's in. He's back in this game.
Now the Red Wings at their own line. Larry Murphy. Long pass on target. Stop made by Potvin. He gives it over to Schneider. Kings have tied it up in the third. Back they come to center. Belanger tipped away from him. And the Red Wings back in their own zone. Tremendous amount of noise here at Staples. Pass over to Maltby, but he had to hold up to stay onside. Kings back in their own zone. Almost lose it. Here along the left wing boards. A check thrown there on Belanger. Belanger spins out with it. 3-on-3 to center ice. Belanger flips it easily across the line, and Larry Murphy back in the game.
Good sign there, the poise of Belanger, but it took him a long time when he went back in his own zone, but he made sure he had total possession before he made a play with it. Finally, as you mentioned, he just spun out with a puck.
Now here's Larry Murphy, his long pass, and an icing call coming up against Detroit. Face-off in the Detroit zone. 8:42 to go in the third. We're tied 2-2.
Bob, they're making that face-off at center ice here. That means there was a mistake made down on the ice by the officials. Perhaps someone touched the puck in the neutral zone, so the icing is waved off. Face-off to center ice.
They had called icing, which would have meant a face-off in the Detroit zone, but as Jim said, if you make a mistake, you bring it back to center ice to face-off. That's what they did. Here's Ziggy Palffy behind the Detroit net. Palffy, check left side, still has it. To the blue line to Modry. Modry to Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh threw it in. I think he was trying to get it to Palffy, who he hoped was cutting to the net, but he kind of got held up a little bit, and Osgood stops it.
You're right, Bob. Palffy started to play and took the puck from the red line, the goal line, out towards the blue line. He's just trying to open up a seam, and you'll see Deadmarsh. Palffy gives it up. You can stop right here. Deadmarsh is going to go watch the play of LaPointe, number 20, because Deadmarsh, when he gets it, he's just trying to lay it right into this open area. And there's LaPointe. Good job on Palffy. That's the coverage we're going to see the rest of the way. Very difficult to move it around, but a pretty good job by the Kings to keep their legs moving, spinning, trying to work the cycle.
1 o'clock in the morning in Detroit. You think anybody's sleeping there?
No, no.
They made that mistake last game. And off the draw. Puck taken by the wings. Nicholas Lidstrom. Now right wing pass. Kissed in by Gilchrist. Put it behind the net. Double team there, but the Kings get it around, but Fedorov holds it in to McCarty. Now Gilchrist walks in front and tried to give it to Fedorov. It just went wide. Picked up by Nordstrom. He clears it out to center and back into the Red Wing zone.
Bob, Smolinski made the play. There was one play earlier, the point on Palffy. That time Smolinski wrapping up Fedorov so he can get to the puck.
Here is Nicholas Lidstrom to McCarty. Turn, shoot, save off the blocker by the Kings. Hot back and back to center ice. Left wing side, LaPerriere. Brings it in. LaPerriere, Belanger, Robitaille. Robitaille right wing corner. Threw it up the middle. Red Wings take it away. Maltby kicks it up the center. Broken up there, and Belanger knocked it down. He gives it now a pass from over to Robitaille from LaPerriere, but it never quite got there. And here's Aaron Miller. Tipped over to Robitaille. Robitaille to center ice. His pass taken away by the Wings. Duchesne sends it to the King line and swept away there. Chased in by Ziggy Palffy. 2-2 the score. Third period. Boucher stands clear. Kozlov holds it in. Gives it right back to Boucher. Now back to Kozlov. Kozlov in the corner. Checked by Boucher. Puck sent around the board. Dandino knocks it down. And finally it's cleared up to center ice. Ziggy Palffy at the King line. Palffy sends it right side. Here's Deadmarsh chasing it in. He jumps around Yuri Fisher. Kicks it behind the net to Stumpel. Stumpel. His pass left side is not cleared yet. Matty Nordstrom holds it in. He got knocked down by Larianoff. Puck comes around to Yuri Fisher. Up to center ice, taken away by Carlotti to Nelson Emerson. Emerson's pass picked up at the blue line by Deadmarsh. But the Wings take it away, and the Kings get it back. Here is Nordstrom. Knocked down by Kozlov, but the Kings get it. Smolinski throws it in. We're coming down to 6 minutes to go in regulation. Checked by Smolinski in the Red Wing zone. Wings. Dandino to center ice. Game is tied at 2. If the Kings win, the series is over. Pass up to center ice, broken up by Larry Murphy. Wings would have been offside if they touched it. Boucher gets it back to Glenn Murray. Murray to Modry. Modry checked pass. Right side, Scott Thomas. Thomas fights for it in front of the Red Wing bench, gets it to Glenn Murray. Murray, right side to Smolinski. He gets knocked down. And a shot and a save. On a shot from the right side by Boucher. And the puck cleared back out to center.
Good follow-up by Philippe Boucher, Bob. The Kings again in that part of the game where they're getting speed at the offensive blue line. Pretty good speed on attack.
Right side, Duchesne, Red Wing zone. Cleared it up out of play. 5:19 to go. Adam Deadmarsh tied the game with this goal. It's 2-2. Well, they just showed that sign to the fans here. L.A., the new hockey town. Well, Detroit is still going to have something to say about that. We're tied 2-2. 5:19 to go in the third. Schneider drives it in the Detroit zone. Puck comes around the boards and past Aaron Miller at the right point. Miller back to get him, who's passing away. Red Wings get it to the point. His shot deflected off the glass. Aaron Miller again, right side. Cleared out to center ice. Red Wings passing away in the neutral zone. Here's LaPerriere trying to get it to Belanger. He took a whack at it, but didn't get it. Belanger left wing side. Help from LaPerriere, but here's Martin Lapointe. Lapointe moves it up to center ice. Duchesne runs into his own man. Here's Belanger, but
Offside was called, Bob. Offside right there. He felt the puck. The linesman did went over the line. Otherwise, it would be delayed. The Kings trying to go the other way, but the whistle stops it. 4:39 remaining third.
a lot of fans that could not get tickets for this game tonight. Another huge crowd, tying the all-time record for hockey in California. 18,478 again here tonight for the third straight time. Up comes in the Kings zone to Smolinski. To Nelson Emerson. Can't clear it out. Better off pass. Now taken by the Kings behind their own net. Pass up on the left wing side from Nordstrom to Glenn Murray. Murray's pass broken up by Chelios. Red Wings get it to Larionov. He had to wait for Fedorov to get onside. He throws it in. Here's Carolani. 4:10 to go in regulation. Puck comes up to center ice. Rolls to the Red Wing line. Chelios over to get it. Taken away by Nelson Emerson. Now Carolani to Stumpel. Stumpel tried to give it to Glenn Murray. Red Wings intercept and throw it in deep. They're going for a line change. Here's Carolani. Around to Ziggy Palffy. He gets taken down. Carolani's pass up to center ice. Broken up by the Wings. Taken there by Maltby. Flips it in deep. Right side. Kings get it over to Draper on the right wing. Draper turns, shoots, save. Draper goes for it again. Couldn't get it. Deadmarsh clears it out to center ice. Now the Wings move it right back in. Matty Nordstrom. Nordstrom tied up in an offside called against Detroit.
So the Kings trying to get it going on the counterattack. It's pretty tight, Bob, and I guess this is our best example right here, the last 5 minutes of playoff hockey. Each team very, very simple once you get to the red line. Yeah, if you do happen to pick up a bouncing puck and have an outnumbered attack, you look for more passes, but it's more of that north and south game, especially along the boards. You have to try to get possession first when you're leaving your zone. And if you can't find a man immediately, the puck has to be chipped off the boards out of the zone.
Face off right in the neutral zone now. Lapointe on the draw of the Kings. Belanger wins the face-off. Aaron Miller to center ice. Slaps it hard around the board. Robitaille goes forward, left side. Into the corner, trying to get it to Belanger. He throws a hard check on McCarty and knocked him down. McCarty slow getting up. Shot in front. Tipping a save. Robitaille was right in front, and Osgood made the save.
Well, Eric Belanger, Bob. He started this play off with just a devastating hit on Darren McCarty. Part of the hit by Belanger has to do with speed, momentum, but also body positioning. You know exactly where to angle. Here it is right here. Angle, boom. There's the hit. Now, from that point on, the Kings get possession, and you'll see Belanger take it back. Watch Luke Robitaille. I think somebody gets a piece of it there, and McCarty comes back to clear out Luke Robitaille. That's the way it's played. Luke Robitaille looking for any type of screen, deflection. Yes, he did get a piece, but the right pad of Osgood makes a save, then he holds on for the faceoff.
Fans rising to their feet again for this face-off in the Red Wing zone. Robitaille gets a rest on the bench. Stumpel, Palffy, Deadmarsh up front for the Kings. Aaron Miller and Matthew Schneider back at the blue line. 2-2 the score. 3:05 to go in regulation. And the Red Wings win the draw. Gilchrist on the faceoff. Falling down was Yuri Fisher, but the Kings had no pressure on, and here is Chelios. Tipped out to center ice, taken away by Schneider. To Deadmarsh. He slaps it hard into the Red Wing zone. Stumpel, right side, tipped there by Chelios. Stumpel's pass. Tipped out to center ice. Kings chase it down. 2:40 to go in regulation. Schneider. Right side, Aaron Miller. Up ahead now to Stumpel. Stumpel stopped right in front of the King bench. Now he passes back into the King zone where Schneider goes back to get it. Almost banned on his pass over Aaron Miller. And the Kings clear into center ice. No icing here. Back goes Nicholas Lidstrom. 2-2 the score. Nearing the end of regulation. Kozlov to center ice. Throws it back behind the King net. Potvin leaves it there for Matty Nordstrom. Nordstrom flips it high in the air into the Red Wing zone. It rolls right toward Osgood. He makes the save. Clears it out to center, and Fedorov trying to get to it. He got knocked down, and Potvin covers it up.
Now, there's another good example right there, Bob. Nordstrom and Fedorov just grinding it out. And you know, the puck is dangerous, but by no means is there any possession. But you'll see Nordstrom lead on Fedorov. Fedorov lead, just watch this. Nordstrom wants to get that position. Look at Fedorov, jumps by one time. The second time, there's the loose puck. Who gets there first? Neither guy. So Nordstrom does his job. Fedorov does his job too. Felix Potvin makes sure to hold on. That's a great look at two players who want the puck. No one ended up with it, but Nordstrom did his job defensively.
There is Sergei Fedorov, 7 points in the series, tied for 5th in playoff scoring. Draper's going to take this face-off for Detroit in the King zone. Belanger.
2 men to the inside, Bob, for the Red Wings, so the Kings put their both defensemen to the inside too, so a different alignment. You make the adjustment defensively.
1:54 to go in regulation. 2-2 the score. The Kings tied it at the 10:17 mark of the third. Deadmarsh from Stumpel and Nordstrom. Stumpel with a goal and an assist to the game tonight. Draper gets kicked out of a face-off spot. Here's Pat Verbeek. Verbeek against Belanger. Belanger wins the draw. Verbeek goes for a goal in the right wing corner. Belanger with it. And Gambino holds it in to Draper to the blue line. Maltby backhand to Draper. Threw it back behind the net. Nordstrom looking for it, and the net is dislodged. Look at that battle between Verbeek and Nordstrom.
Wow, there's another battle. The Warrior, Matty Nordstrom. He couldn't get to the puck direct line, so he said, I'm going through the net. He took the net off, so I think the faceoff will be deep in the Kings zone. Well, Bob, the Kings had a 1-0 lead after one period, but they did trail 2-1 after 2. And of course, things kept going the Kings' way. It took a while to get it going. Nordstrom to Stumpel. Watch Stumpel keep it alive. Nordstrom with that speed. Can't say enough about it. He drives, and Adam Deadmarsh just kind of picks it out of the air on the first bounce. So the Kings get a tie, 2-2. 1:37 remaining. Regulation time.
There's Adam Deadmarsh. Came over in that trade from Colorado. Wouldn't he love to play them in the next round? Now off the draw in the Kings zone. Puck comes into the corner. Nordstrom knocks Kozlov out of the way. Sends it around the boards and out to center ice. Red Wings back together with 1:25 to go in regulation. Here's Loriano on the backhand up high and off the glass.
It looked dangerous at first, Bob, but Nordstrom again using his skating to get the angle. Loriano had to go to the backhand.
Kings clear it again out to center ice. No icing, deflected and back to get it is Lidstrom. Nicholas Lidstrom moves it up to the blue line. Now tipped by Lapointe, taken away by the Kings. 1 minute to go in regulation. Pass by Nelson Emerson, not enough on it. Nick Schneider gets it. Schneider up ahead now. Thrown in deep by Smolinski. Kings going to make a change. Lapointe gets it around to the blue line and out to center ice. 43 seconds to go in regulation.
And Bob, the Kings able to get the line they want on the ice. Stumpel, Palffy, Deadmarsh. That's the #1 unit offensively.
Here is Deadmarsh to center ice. Deadmarsh to Palffy. Palffy makes a move to the blue line. His shot wide. Rebound to Aaron Miller. Miller throws it in front. Save! Palffy! Couldn't put it in. Saved by Osgood with 24 and 8/10 seconds to go in regulation.
Well, Bob, the Kings really, Palffy, when they entered the zone, made a nice little dipsy move to kind of keep it alive. He tried to pass to Stumpel, didn't work. But when Aaron Miller was pinching down the far boards, the puck for a split second, I think, got in behind Chris Osgood. Look at Deadmarsh. He made the deflection. Yeah, the puck is between the skates. Wow. Look at that white blade of Ziggy Palffy. Palffy's blade ended up underneath the arm of Chris Osgood. Puck between the pads. Watch the white stick blade coming right there. There it is. He's trying to get the puck. But Osgood got his belly on top of it first. And I'm thinking right there, Osgood doesn't know where the puck is, but he knows where the stick of Palffy is. And if he can stop the forward progression of that stick, he can make the save. And you see the puck is still free. It was never really covered. So the Kings get what they want. Their top offensive unit on the ice. They get the puck to the net, and Palffy about 6 inches away from putting it into the net.
26.3.
Now they put a little more time back on the clock. 26.3 left in regulation. Face off in the Detroit zone. Game tied at 2. Stumpel, Palffy, Deadmarsh up front for the Kings. Aaron Miller and Schneider back. And on the draw, Redmond's draws it into the corner. Chelios picks it up, slaps it around the boards, and it's tipped all the way back into the Kings zone. Aaron Miller chasing it down. Icing coming up against Detroit. 14 and 4/10 seconds to go in regulation, and a face-off in the Red Wing zone.
We'll see if the changes will be made here, Bob, on face-offs, because the last face-off was to the left of Osgood. This one moves over to the right of the goaltender. Fedorov looks like he's going to take the draw no matter which side it's on. The Kings bring out Eric Belanger and Luc Robitaille, so Palffy's going to stay out there. Bob, the biggest reason for the change is just to win the face-off, and Belanger has established himself as the best face-off man with the LA Kings. Big match up here. Fedorov, Belanger. Again, the line change has also been made. Luc Robitaille will be sniffing for a loose puck.
Robitaille's against the left wing boards. Palffy moves into the slot. Belanger on the draw for the Red Wings. Fedorov draws it in deep. Puck comes over toward Palffy in the corner. 8 seconds to go in regulation. Red Wings Lidstrom cleared it to the blue line and out to center, and we are going to go to sudden death overtime as regulation is over. But the Kings tied it on a goal by Adam Deadmarsh. It's 2-2.
We are back once again with Kings Classics. We're looking at Game 6 of the playoff series between the Kings and the Red Wings back on April 23rd of 2001. The Kings have now tied this game. They can win the series if they win it tonight. They've tied the game 2-2. But in that third period, which we just saw, early in the period, Detroit very content just to get the puck out of their zone. Then about 3 minutes in, they get several good chances, and Felix Potvin was standing up to make the save.
You have a veteran team, you have a lead, so you just make sure you get the puck out of the zone. I remember talking before the series with the Red Wings assistant coach at the time, Dave Lewis, and I said, during the end of a season, a regular season, going into the playoffs, what do you work on the most? And the one thing he said was, just getting the puck out of your zone, making sure it gets out. Well, the Red Wings were doing that well, and also because of their counterattack speed, they're creating chances too. It was just a matter of time before they thought they were going to get that next goal. 2-goal advantage, game's over. Did not happen. Watching Felix Potvin when he came to the LA Kings and throughout his career, he plays so deep in his net. And watching him initially, you're going, whoa, hold on. You've got to change that style. But after watching him time and time again, you got comfortable with Felix Potvin. He made you feel secure, and his teammates felt that way too.
I'll tell you, it could have been Detroit up by 2 or 3 goals because Potvin stopped LaPointe. McCarty had a great chance down the slot, couldn't handle the puck. Dan Deneau had a good chance. Draper on a breakaway and shot wide. Then the Kings tie it up. A goal that Stumpel kept the play alive, and there was Matty Nordstrom, the King defenseman, right in on the right side of the goalpost.
I think it's safe to say it was the first time in his career and the only time in his career that Matty Nordstrom was ever in the other team's crease, but that's what happened. Stumpel kept it okay. And again, it was an example of a goal where the puck just kept going forward. Until the puck actually went into the net on the shot by Deadmarsh, there was not really a dangerous play, but you keep it going forward. You take what the other team gives you. Matty Nordstrom maybe surprised people by keeping going after the loose puck, and he just kept it alive. Deadmarsh was there. I don't know how you cannot fall in love with the style of Adam Deadmarsh, especially watching him in a playoff series where it seems like he gets better and better and better. And believe me, the other team doesn't want to play against him by the end of a series. He just keeps driving, he keeps hitting, and he was a killer, a Red Wing killer when he was with the Colorado Avalanche. No different with the Kings.
Well, then both teams tightened up. The game's 2-2. Both teams tightened up a little bit. I like the sign, L.A., the new hockey town. Detroit is known as Hockey Town, but the Kings were on the verge of knocking them out of this playoff series. Belanger hit McCarty, and Luke got a piece of the puck, but Osgood made the save. So teams had chances down the stretch to win it in regulation.
And Bob, I think I have to bring it up again, and we've talked about it earlier, Brian Smolinski's job that he was doing on Sergei Fedorov. And Fedorov can control a game just with speed. He doesn't necessarily have to get chances. But when you look back on a series, you would say that Fedorov was controlled. He was okay in the first couple of games, picked up a couple of points, but games 3, 4, and 5, Fedorov only had 2 assists. He just never seemed to get himself going. I think that you have to credit Brian Smolinski for playing a strong, solid, skating game to make sure Fedorov couldn't get it going.
And with 24 seconds left in regulation, Aaron Miller shoots. Palffy's got the rebound, and Osgood had no idea where it was, but he made a save on it.
That's one of those things where it's just a couple of inches again. The stick was there. Osgood was there. I think what happened, Osgood dove out and grabbed the stick of Ziggy Palffy because he couldn't really find the puck. Goaltenders will do anything. You get the stick, you can't score.
So it's 2-2, headed into sudden death overtime, and the Kings can wrap it up if they can score in the overtime, and we'll be back at sudden death overtime right after this.
Well, the Kings in overtime, 13-18, lifetime in the playoffs.
When you look here, Bob, who might be tired? Lidstrom, almost 30 minutes after 3 periods. Larry Murphy sees a lot of ice time in pressure situations. 3 Kings defensemen over 20 minutes of ice time.
And as Jim mentioned, the last time we went into overtime, unlike the regular season, it's 5-on-5 here in the playoffs. There's Brian Smolinski. Glenn Murray, and off the draw at center ice, Red Wings have it. First team to score is going to win this game. If the Kings win it, the series is over. If Detroit wins it, there's a game 7. Puck bounces into the Kings zone. And it would have been offside. Detroit picked up by Smolinski. Down the right side goes Emerson in the Detroit zone. Taken by Larry Murphy. Puck bounces off the boards and was held in for a moment. Now cleared out to center. Kings back in their own zone. Moving up on the right side, Emerson. Check from behind, knocked down. Red Wings get it to Fedorov. His long pass in on target and swept away by Felix Potvin. And the Kings bring it back to center ice. Here's Smolinski. Flags it on target. Save made by Osgood. Kings want to get a line change. In to get it is Chelios. He clears it up to center ice. Out of the reach of Philippe Boucher. And picked up by Mowgli for an icing call against Detroit. Deadmarsh and Palffy up front. Kings win the draw. Aaron Miller. Miller throws it in behind the net. Deadmarsh is tied up with one of the wings, and the Kings can't hold it in. Back at center ice, Ziggy Palffy gives it to Aaron Miller. We're in sudden death overtime. Kings trying to wrap up the series. Red Wings, Yuri Fisher. Back in his own zone. His pass up the center, taken away by Schneider. Schneider's pass broken up by Devereaux. Schneider gets it back and trying to get to Palffy, but out of his reach. And here's Yuri Fisher. Fisher in to get it, up on the left side, broken up by Aaron Miller to Stumpel. Stumpel's pass sent by the wings into the Kings zone. It's going to be icing against Detroit. And a face-off in the Detroit zone.
You know, Bob, what about Yuri Fisher? We just saw Eric Belanger. He's a rookie. He scored the game winner in Game 4. Yuri Fisher this season, second half of the season, he was sent down to the minors because he wasn't getting a lot of ice time in Detroit. 20 years old, and here in OT he gets a shift already. So Scotty Bowman, who's been known to go with veteran players, the 20-year-old, getting some ice time in OT.
A lot of teams wanted him if the Red Wings were ready to trade him, and they said, no way, we're hanging on to Yuri Fisher. Here's Stumpel on the face-off in the Red Wing zone as Scotty Bowman looks out from behind the Red Wing bench. Wings win the draw, though, as Draper draws it in. Now Kessler Holmstrom. He's checked in the corner. And it is picked up by Maltby. He gets checked. Picked up by Draper. Tips it out to center ice. Hustling back is Draper, but Boucher got good position on it. And he clears it back out to center ice into the Red Wing zone. And the Kings are going to get called for icing here. Now the face-off back into the Kings zone. Face-off to the left of Felix Potvin. Sudden death overtime. Belanger on the draw for the Kings, and the face-off taken by Belanger. Williams, the rookie, facing off for the Wings. Long pass into the Red Wing zone, stopped by Osgood. He gets into Dandino. Dandino to Duchesne. Duchesne up on the left side to Gilchrist to center ice. Red Wings second to the line, left wing corner. Chased in by Jason Williams. Checked there by Schneider. Schneider digs it out, can't clear. Dandino holds it in. Into McCarty. McCarty's back to Williams. He's tied up in the corner again. McCarty comes by to help out. McCarty checked by Schneider. McCarty wrapped around and rolled off his stick. Poke checked away by Potvin, but held in by Gilchrist. Into Jason Williams. His pass taken away by Schneider, and he clears up the center ice. Things changing on the fly. It hit one of them going off, but puck taken by Larionov. Left side, his pass back to Fedorov. Fedorov checked in the corner by Glenn Murray. Puck comes around on the right side and not cleared. Lidstrom holds it in, knocked down. Kings to center. Here's Glenn Murray. Murray, Detroit zone, shoots, tipped and out of play. Into the corner, I should say, but the net is dislodged.
Wow, look at the crash to the front with Brian Smolinski. It was a 2-on-2, and Smolinski went to the middle. He went through, he beeline, and that allowed Glenn Murray to just hesitate for a split second. And Glenn came in the backside. You'll see the play right here. It's a 2-on-2. Watch Smolinski go. Actually, a 2-on-3, the back checker. It was deflected off the stick of Nicky Lidstrom. It goes into the corner, then Smolinski ends up in the net. Let's play goal in the NHL. Osgood makes the save. And there's the crash. Smolinski over top, but because he was pushed in, the face-off still deep in the Detroit zone.
Face-off to the right of Osgood. 2-2 the score. Sudden death overtime. Bob Miller with Jim Fox and Bill McDonald. And on the draw, Red Wing, Chelios. Put it behind the net on the wing. Get it up to Kozlov on the left wing side. He throws it to the King line, taken away by Nordstrom. He got knocked down. Kozlov can't find it. Still they battle along the boards there as Kozlov still pushing, and finally the whistle blows. He was all over Scott Thomas.
Scott Thomas getting some ice again, so he's in OT, and as many times Bob coaches look for that player that hasn't got a lot of ice time during the game. You go into OT and you just hope the fresh legs make a difference. And right here, Scott Thomas will get a rest with Kelly Buchberger coming over. The two guys that stay the same, Glenn Murray and Brian Smolinski. So obviously the coaches go over the stat sheets after each period too. They know exactly how much ice time guys have gotten. So when they look for fresh legs, they look at OT.
And on the draw, loose puck at center ice. Red Wings get it over to Chelios. He slots it in on target, save made by Potvin. Kings try to clear, and they do. They tip it out to center ice. Kelly Buchberger deflected it. Chelios again for the Wings. Throws it right back in. Carlotti in deep, sent behind the net by Kozlov. And the Kings come out with it. We're in overtime. Smolinski moves it up to center ice. Glenn Murray throws it in the Detroit zone, and Osgood scoops it up, and he hangs on. Face off in the Detroit zone now.
Solid play defensively by Carlotti again. Carlotti was there with Nordstrom. Smolinski was the third man just to help out. And as a centerman, that's your job to support defensively. That allowed the Kings to go the other way. Ended up with a dump in. Many times it is important. There's Yari on the bench. Talk about guys who score goals, that's important. But this man right here has had a heck of a playoff series. Great defensively taking the body, and again, just making sure he pins his man on the boards. The Kings offensive zone, get the big line on the ice. Stumpel, Palffy, Deadmarsh.
Boucher back at the right point. Stumpel will take this face off. Again, and he wins the draw to Boucher. Boucher tried to throw it through some traffic. Comes up the middle. Modry got his stick on it, but Larry Murphy reaches out and pokes it out to center. Boucher back to get it for the Kings. Up ahead to Palffy at center. He didn't get it. Gilchrist sent it into the King zone. Here's Modry. Modry checked in the corner. Gilchrist trying to hold it in. Now the Kings take it and move it up ahead to center. Here's Ziggy Palffy. Palffy to the blue line. Palffy to Deadmarsh, but offside.
Now Boucher this time, Bob. Another Kings defenseman decided to jump up in the play, so Kings are not hanging back. Again, that's part of the regular system for the LA Kings all season long. The Kings led the NHL in defense scoring as far as points goes. And Boucher was able to jump in there. Ziggy Palffy was just trying to extend the play long enough. Couldn't get it over the line. Kings offside.
There's a look at Ziggy Palffy. 6 points in 9 previous career playoff games. He got an assist in a first King goal tonight. Faceoff will be outside the blue line of the Wings. 5:15:38 to go in overtime. Stumpel on the draw for the faceoff, taken by Martin Lapointe. Here's Lidstrom to Larry Murphy. Up to center ice. Fedorov. He gets it down to Devereaux. Devereaux shoots up high off the glass. Upside Lidstrom. Lidstrom throws it around the board. Schneider for the Kings. Takes his time, makes the play up the middle. Miller to center ice. Here's Stumpel, right side. Stumpel shoots, save, rebound, score! The Kings win! Adam Deadmarsh wins it! The Kings have won the series! Detroit is eliminated! Adam Deadmarsh eliminates the Red Wings! The Kings, in overtime, have pulled the upset here in this first round. And they'll play Colorado next, probably Thursday night. But that's not definite. Adam Deadmarsh gets the tying goal and the winning goal.
So the celebration is on as the Kings win it and eliminate the heavily favored Detroit Red Wings. That sent shockwaves around the NHL because the Wings were out. Adam Deadmarsh, you mentioned him earlier. He gets the tying and the winning goal. We said on TV there was no doubt about that one. There was doubt for a while in the game that Belanger scored in overtime, but not in this one.
The whole play by the Kings was just excellent from the initial outlet pass. It started with Matthew Schneider with the puck along the boards. And, you know, in the playoffs, we were just talking earlier about how the Red Wings get it out. Schneider felt the overflow of all the Red Wings forwards on one side of the ice. He made the pass to the middle to Aaron Miller. Miller's pass beat 3 forwards. Anytime you can beat 3 forwards with one pass, that's a huge mistake on the Red Wings' part. On the other side, you have to look at the Kings. And then the way Ziggy Palffy handled the puck. He just tipped it to Stumpel. And most of the times when you have that center drive, it's usually the physical player that goes through the middle, takes traffic with him. Well, Palffy said, I've got to keep the puck going forward. Tips it and drives. The rebound was there on the shot by Jozef Stumpel. I know many Kings fans are saying, we always want to see Jozef shoot the puck more. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes you get a rebound. That rebound hit the back of the net before it was on Adam Deadmarsh's stick, and it was a pretty goal from the standpoint of fundamentals. I know coaches, when you're talking with kids, you always want that center drive. Well, Palffy had the center drive, but I have to go back to the Kings' zone. It started with that outlet. The one pass, quick, right through the middle, you catch all the Red Wings.
You know, we mentioned some of the others that were on that team, and you heard them on the ice and heard our description. Kelly Buchberger was on that team. Nelson Emerson was on that team. And really, it was a team effort, and you need a team effort if you're going to upset a team as good as the Red Wings.
I know we talked about him earlier. We're going to go back to Jari Karlahti. Karlahti was exceptional from the standpoint of doing everything and logging a lot of ice time. Bob just mentioned Nelson Emerson. Throughout that regular season with Emerson, he was kind of up and down. And I know many times actually questioned himself whether he was going to kind of keep playing and keep his career going. All of a sudden, he gets in the playoffs, and he has a specific role. Play a defensive role along with Smolinski and Glenn Murray. You're talking about Glenn Murray, a guy who can skate, shoot, score. They were placed in a role that they had to accept in order for the team to excel. They accepted that role. You just keep going on and on. You have the Buchberger. You have the Grimson. You have guys doing the specific roles. They have enough grit now to do it, and they also have that speed. Pretty good combination.
And the Kings win the series 4-2 to move on and take on the team that had the most points in the NHL that year, the Colorado Avalanche. They stretched the Avalanche to 7 games before Colorado won it 4-3. Well, for Jim Fox, this is Bob Miller, and we certainly hope you enjoyed looking back at this exciting Kings playoff win in 2001 against the Detroit Red Wings. We'll see you again next time on Kings Classics.